Zoom now. I can edit this stuff though. So, switching gears here, guys. We're gonna go to a segment with my buddy Blip. He's back. He was on last week. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself? How's life?
Well, now that Emperor Polis is still in office and now he's backed up by Grand Poobah Biden. I mean, it ain't great. But Kyle and I were talking about this before the podcast. So, before we actually started recording. Kyle's in LA and apparently it's cold.
Oh my God.
Wait, what's the temperature right now? How cold is it actually?
I have no idea. Let me look up the weather on my phone.
Okay,
all right, it's cold for LA. 50? It's cold for LA purposes.
Okay, so what he tells me is that this is the first time ever that he's had to double sock.
I've done it, dude. My feet get fucking cold as shit.
Part of me didn't know what the fuck he meant. Because
it is 54 degrees right now.
It's 54 degrees and you have 2 pairs of socks on?
Yeah, I do. It was cold this morning. It's cooler now.
But does your house not have heat?
It does, but I'm too lazy to turn that fucker on. I just double sock. Look, man, I got this sock and I got myself my other sock right underneath it.
With
I got
pants
2 socks.
And like a sweater on, and
yeah,
I'm hearing old Commie Rado. Yeah, it is snowing outside still. And I have shorts on. I'm not that flexible, so I can't show everybody. Yeah, I have shorts on. What does that say about you? Maybe not a man?
It means it gets cold out here, son, for our
54
standards.
is not cold, dude.
Okay, you got to understand. We wear jackets out here and sweaters for style. We don't actually
I know you
wear
do.
We don't wear it to stay warm, okay? So this is one of the few times where it's like, oh, man, I got to stay warm. I got to put on some socks.
I don't understand why you just don't turn on the heat. I mean, do you not have like the Nest app where you just like pop open your phone and there
my
it is?
My heater is right. I can just crank that fucker up if I want and wait like 10 minutes, but I don't want to. I'd rather just put on 2 pairs of socks.
Wait, do you have a separate heater in your room?
I do. Like it's right over here. I don't even know if I can. My camera.
No, I don't need to see it. No, I don't want to see it.
You can't see it, but it's right there.
That's just like, weird. I don't understand why you have so much stuff.
I enjoy capitalism, man. I like to buy heat once in a while.
No, I mean like heaters, and because normally a house has a furnace, and that's what heats it.
I live in a condo. I don't live in a house.
Oh, okay, whatever.
That's why. Yeah. That's why. So we have heaters in the living room, bedroom, and then my bedroom, and then
so do you not have like a central heater in there? Do you not have a furnace?
No, it's a condo, dude. How do I have a furnace in a condo?
Okay, dude. I mean, in Colorado, people have furnaces in their
condos
and apartments. Yeah,
maybe a townhouse. I never heard of a condo that has a furnace.
Okay, wait a minute. Are you serious?
There a furnace in a condo, a unit? No.
Yes, everybody has one. It's usually like in the ceiling.
No.
Okay,
a furnace. No.
Baffled. Do you not have air conditioning?
We have it attached. In the living room window, it came with the unit. It's a shitty one. It's really old.
Okay, so you have like a window. You do not have an actual furnace. Like you don't have heat registers in your condo.
Oh, you mean like insulation through the walls?
No, I mean like a register. It's like a grate, like that comes up through the floor and blows hot air.
No.
No, you have to be kidding me, really?
That's a rich white people thing. I've never heard of this in my life.
It's
I've
like
never heard this in my life.
Okay, I want
you have heat that comes from the floor? You have heat that comes from the floor? Well, how come I'm not living this fancy life? I know this existed. What?
Okay, if you live in Colorado and you live in an apartment, how do you think you get heat? Do you think you have a heater in every room?
Again, I'm sure in Colorado you guys have houses designed that way. We don't have this out here. I've never heard of anyone in my life that lives in an apartment or a condo with a furnace. No, we don't have that.
Okay, I am completely baffled by this.
Unless if housing developments have changed recently, I've never heard of that in my life.
Huh?
Not even close. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so enough about my heat. I'm sure you guys are very excited. Yeah, going on what you were saying, Gavin Newsom Emperor Bitch
honestly
Newsom.
can't believe that that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing about that. I'll ask my
Okay.
friends next time how many of them have a furnace in their apartment or their condo.
Yeah, all right. That's very odd to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move on to something that actually matters. Unfortunately, I'm baffled. Like you throw me through a loop. I'm not sure that I can continue in this way.
Double socks. Be jealous, man. That's what I gotta do.
Okay. We'll talk to NFL for a little bit. Again, I've stuck true to my promise of not watching any NFL games. I just can't help, it's on the Twitter and all that crap. It's the Patriots.
Patriots. No.
Yeah, isn't it still Brady and Gronk?
It's in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so it's the Patriots 2.0 versus the Chefs.
Exactly. Old Tom Brady, age 43, who randomly picked a team out of a hat and is now taking them to the Super Bowl. Beat Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. And even if you hate Brady, I get it. But, dude, you have to recognize greatness. Age 43, first year on a new team, taking them to the Super Bowl. He's had an incredible season. This might be his best season. I know not statistically because you got to go back to like when they had Randy Moss at the Patriots, but this is probably his best season, what he's doing. That's insane.
Who cares?
That's insane, dude.
He
Age
cheats.
43. And with the Patriots, probably, but I can't do when you're 43. Look at Brett Favre in his 40s. Terrible. Peyton Manning, terrible. Elway was good.
I think Manning won a Super Bowl in his 40s.
Yeah, but I mean, he had 12 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. He played terrible in the Super Bowl. He was carried. Elway was also carried. Brett Favre was awful. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, God, he almost killed me. Bite your tongue. Elway was not carried, nerd. Clearly, you were about 6 years old when you watched that. He wasn't in his 40s.
He had a great
36
defense.
and 37.
He had a great defense, and Terrell Davis ran him to the Super Bowl.
He still threw the football.
He still did. He didn't have to throw as much.
Yes, he did. There was a ton of passes to Eddie Mack and Rod Smith and Shannon Sharp. There were all right. I can't.
His whole career.
We can't talk sports.
No,
it's because you're delusional and you don't get it.
His whole career, they never gave him much of a defense. That's why he got blown out in every Super Bowl. At the end of his career, they finally gave him a defense and they gave him a running game, and he was able to do something.
Had some great defenses. I'm appalled that
he did not. He got destroyed. Do you remember the 49ers beat down 55-10?
Okay, yeah, in like 1986 or something like that.
His whole career until the very end when the general manager finally gave him help.
The general manager? All right, again,
or Shanahan, whoever it was.
Because you clearly are delusional, and your history only goes back until 2009. When you were man enough to actually start watching things.
Elway was the best, oldest player up until, I'd say, Tom Brady at the quarterback
he's the best quarterback in the world. Tom Brady has had the benefit of referees, rules, everything like that. Do you not remember the helicopter in the Super Bowl where John Elway's running and like 7 players smash him in the head, he flies around and he gets up and he got the first down? If that happened to Tom Brady, every single one of those players would be ejected and then publicly executed. Okay.
Well, this is the thing is that the sports have now changed. So back then it was not a passing game. It was a rushing game. Now it's almost exclusively a passing game. Basketball is light years. You can't foul. You can't touch anyone. So every sport has now changed completely. Baseball used to be all about speed. Now it's all about how well you can slug. I mean, every sport is
no. They're forcing baseball to be that way, but pitching still wins World Series, and that's what I mean. You can't slide on the catcher anymore. That's about as stupid as it could possibly ever hope to get.
Yeah, every sport is watered down, where it's not as physical as they once were. Every sport, NFL, NBA, baseball. I think hockey is pretty much around the same. I don't follow it as much.
Yeah, you have a couple interference penalties that you can't do as much. And they kind of frown on fighting a little bit more. But other than that, it's still
Yeah, I mean every sport is what like the NBA now. How everyone's going crazy over Steph Curry. It's like, dude, if he had to go up against Isaiah Thomas, Gary Payton, back when you can hand check people, foul people,
Hand
drive to the
check, you
paint.
mean punch him in the face?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
dude, you can
that's
like
literally what
literally
happened if you were in
foul
the paint.
people. Yeah, you could hand check. You can push them where you want them to go. You could, if you went to the rim, you were bodied and thrown to the ground. Now you can't throw an elbow. You can't do shit.
Can't
So
touch
every
anybody. It's a
every sport,
generation of everybody gets a trophy. And you
yeah,
got no one to blame. And I'm going to get a little political here, but you
go for it.
people, you liberals, this is what you guys have done to the
I
world.
never, I never
Turned
wanted
us
that in
into
sports.
pussies.
Did not want that in
It
sports at
trickles
all.
over. You don't get an option. You can't be like, well, we have to, little retard here in fourth grade. We can't tell him he's retarded. It goes the same way. You can't tell the other little skinny kid that he sucks. So you have to adhere, you have to amend the rules and be like, okay, well, we got to let the kid who sucks be good at math and science. And fuck, we might as well do football too. So let's just change it all. 2+2, it's not 4 anymore. It's whatever you want it to be, little Billy, as long as you tried.
Dude, I would say
First
to all
down?
the skinny kids of the world, like, listen, I'm skinny. And when I was in high school, I was like rail thin, but I was fast. So it's like, okay, Edwards, all you have to do is run down. You're not going to go over the middle. You're going to get hit like a bitch, but you can at least run down. And I was good at that. I'm like, if you want someone to go deep, I can do that. Going over the middle, I'm like Randy Moss. I don't want to. But I mean, even a skinny kid can play their role. So you got to be physical at some point. I don't know where this all started.
I'm
but they
telling
changed
you
the
where it
rules.
started. You're just not listening. This
No.
is your kind giving everybody a trophy. And, if you're stupid and you can't read or write, that's all right. We'll just make bigger books for you with pictures and shit.
No,
That's what happened.
let me tell you what happened. Roger Goodell realized that when a quarterback gets injured, it ruins that team's season. It ruins ticket sales. It ruins the viewership. So he said, okay, if a quarterback gets injured, it just hurts the brand so much. Let's make rules to protect the quarterback. And that's where it started.
What about
That
the
was
receivers?
Goodell. That was receivers, same thing. You have all these pussy. As much as I love Randy Moss, the one criticism,
He's a bitch.
he hated going across the middle. Jerry Rice would go across the middle. Randy Moss is arguably better athletically than Rice was. But I mean, like all the receivers, Antonio, I don't want to go over the middle. No one wants to go over the middle because you don't want to get hit by a Ray Lewis or an Urlacher. So they said, okay, we're just gonna have a passing game. We're just throwing.
Ray Lewis's girlfriend also doesn't want to get hit by him. For those people he killed.
Wait, did he beat his girl? I thought that was Ray Rice.
Okay, dude, if you murder 2 people, it was Ray Rice, but if you murder 2 people, you probably beat women.
You see, I don't think he murdered them, but I think he definitely knew who did it.
Yeah,
he knew who did it, but I don't think
he was
he
probably there holding
murdered.
the gun. It doesn't matter. He was complicit. He's a murderer. It's like OJ. He absolutely killed 2 people. Okay, he got off because the jury was stupid, and I mean the jury was stupid.
Okay, dude, let me tell you what happened with this OJ thing. Here's what really happened.
No, the jury was stupid and they didn't understand DNA. That's how he got off.
No, that's the main story for the public. They rigged the jury in such a way where it was like, okay, the year before or 2 years before, you had Rodney King and the black people went crazy. And they said, okay, you gave us Rodney King, we'll give you OJ, and it's a wash. And they rigged it in such a way where it's like, we know this guy's guilty, but we fucked up with Rodney King. We'll give you guys OJ. And that's what saves it. Honest to God, why else would it? That stupid defense with the glove. Listen, I live in LA. We don't have snow and cold weather that much, but even I know.
You got 2 socks on.
Yeah, but even I know this. If you take anything leather and you leave it outside in the cold, especially if it's wet, a la blood, it's going to shrivel up the next day. That's what happens with leather.
No,
that's
it
why the
doesn't.
stupid glove
doesn't. Dude, that's why you wear leather work gloves, because they can get wet and stuff, and leather just gets softer when it's wet. It doesn't shrink like a shriveled up prune.
When you leave it, when it's covered, when it's soaked in blood, and you leave it outside in the cold, it's going to shrink up.
All right, well, I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to murder you and get blood all over my leather stuff, like my leather pants and shirt. Then I'm going to lay them outside. If they still fit the next day, you have to write like I was willing to get murdered and for science. I mean, trust the science if it saves just one life.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why the stupid glove didn't fit. He just left it outside in the cold
But
and it
that's
shrunk.
not why he was acquitted. That was just like the tagline. It was basically the jury didn't understand DNA evidence because
That's part of
they're
it.
stupid. If you get on a jury, now the trial by jury is one of the most, in theory, sacred things that this country has, and
I
other
fear that
countries.
shit. I fear that shit, dude. I would rather have one
Absolutely. Because nowadays, if you somehow get on a jury, you're a goddamn fucking moron. Like, if you can't get out of jury duty, oh, you're stupid. And
dude, jury duty is made of 12 people so stupid they can't think of a reason to get out of jury
right.
duty. There's no way I would trust my life. I would hate that, dude.
And it used to be that, you know, these were your peers. These were people in the community that were going to judge you and say, yeah, you know, he did do this, but we know him and we're smart and there is a reasonable doubt. Now it is literally turned in to 6 to 12 fucking morons who couldn't figure out how to get out of jury duty. I mean, the best advice I can give you, you want to get out of jury duty? The first thing out of your mouth in that interview is, bring that guilty son of a bitch in here. You will be gone like that.
Say you love cops, and then you're out. Just say that.
It depends if it's like a cop shooting.
It could be, I guess. Yeah. Honestly, dude, the reason why DNA, no one knew what that was in the early 90s because it just wasn't mainstream.
That's what I said.
Yeah. But like, do you not remember the first Jurassic Park movie in the early 90s? They had to have that stupid scene. Dono DNA. DNA. We got the mosquitoes here. We got the blood. You have to talk. Yeah, back then people didn't know what did that. And you had a fucking movie. They had to have a whole scene explaining what this was. So of course no one in real life knew.
These jurors missed Jurassic Park, and that's why OJ got off.
If they had like a cartoon version to explain what DNA was. I'm DNA. I am the blood of Nicole Brown Simpson. I'm on the knife. I'm on his shoes. I'm on the car. And they go, oh, okay, now I can follow it. And yeah, they probably would have been like, oh, this guy's guilty as shit. Yeah, so they didn't have that back then. Now jurists
need fucking cartoons.
I mean, I think they've always needed cartoons, to be honest with you.
Schoolhouse Rock, I mean, that's, I don't know if that's how you learned about government and conjunctions.
I'm just a bill. I'm only a bill.
Conjunction Junction. I mean, we learn by cartoons. That's how you teach kids. You don't, have Father, Frederick up there whipping your ass. You put on Schoolhouse Rock.
Dude, your dad and I are old timers, man. Ask him about this.
Your dad and I?
Your dad and my dad and your dad are old timers, right? There was this cartoon. Ask your dad about this. I forgot the name. It was a turtle that would explain to kids how to duck and cover. It was duck and cover. Like if the atom bomb is to drop, Cold War, duck and cover from the atomic blast.
Okay, but yeah,
he remembers that to this day.
That the Cold War was like the late 50s.
Still, that cartoon was forever. I mean, the whole duck and cover.
Was not in elementary school in the late 50s, Chief.
I guarantee you. Ask him about. Okay, someone look this up. There's a talking turtle.
Yeah,
if an atom bomb drops, hold your head.
It also wasn't in private Catholic schools because, where logic and turtles might save you, they have Jesus.
Yeah, I guess so.
It was probably Christ that was like duck and cover under your desk for when the nuclear fallout happens. I don't know, man. I'll ask him about it. He's not.
He's not
the sharing kind of person, or he'll be like, yeah, back in the Depression. It's like, Dad, you weren't born in 1923. He's like, I might have been, God damn it, and leaves the room. Like Dude,
going back to OJ though, the balls on that guy. He gets acquitted, and then writes a book.
Goes and acts like an asshole for the rest of his life.
He writes a book called "If I Did It, This Is How I Would Have Done It."
Right.
It pretty much explains how we did it.
It's a confession.
And it's like, dude, the balls to actually publish a book. If I did kill my wife, this is exactly how it would have went down.
The great thing about this country, it's called double jeopardy.
That is insane.
Actually, I think double jeopardy only applies if you're convicted, right?
I think so. I mean, didn't he have the civil court? He had the civil court where he was found guilty.
Yeah, but civil court doesn't mean shit. You just pay a bunch of money and everything's okay.
Yeah, I know you killed these two people. Just pay some money for that, and then
I mean, dude, how much is a human life worth? That's basically what civil court does.
That's like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead. You have a bounty on your head for killing the whole town, and you just pay here's some cash. I'm sorry, Sheriff. And all right, on your way.
No, that's a bail, a bounty. I mean, it would be, you know, like the ambulance chaser lawyers. You know, if your loved one died because of someone else's negligence, that someone should have to pay like $5 million. Okay, well, that says that your loved one's life was only worth $5 million. It might have been worth more. It probably was worth less. I can't think of very many people's lives who were worth much more than like a
I mean, the
Big
city
Mac
has
or
to
something.
give you something. If I don't know
Why?
if there's a cop shooting and they wrongfully kill your spouse, the city does have to pay you
Okay,
like a shitload.
All right, let's be clear about something and how we got on this. There's never been like the cops don't just walk down the street and start shooting innocent people. Now, they might shoot people that didn't deserve to get shot, but 99.99 times a gabillion times, you were doing something wrong. Okay, it's again, George Floyd, you were being arrested, and whether or not you resisted, and again, that cop was wrong. He should not have had his knee on your throat for 9 minutes or whatever it was. But also, if you hadn't broken the law to begin with, you would have never been in this situation. Breonna Taylor, who they claim was just an innocent woman in a drug dealer's house who was collateral damage. If you weren't hanging out with drug dealers and doing stupid shit, you wouldn't get shot. Now, I know that that's an extrapolation and it's hard for some of you to understand this, but if you don't want to come in contact with the cops, quit breaking the fucking law. They don't just hunt down black people. No matter what they tell you, it does not happen. Denver police does not just go find black people and shoot them. Now, if Jerome is running from the scene of a crime, they might shoot him. Do you need to use that excessive force? I don't know, but don't run from the scene of a crime, especially when you committed, you dumb fuck.
They do hunt. Dude, do you not remember South Park where Michael Jackson was white? He's white. Do you see that?
Okay,
we can't go after him.
That's South Park. That's not real life.
That's what happened.
If
Were they trying to like bait people and like freeze? And after he was done begging them?
No, they don't tell you to freeze when you're not doing anything. Now, again, they might over-exaggerate and you're just stealing a car and they tell you to freeze and they shoot you in the head. But the way to solve that is don't steal cars.
I'll tell you what I would do. Let me tell you what I would do. If there was a shooting in my condo, like the unit next door, and the bullets penetrated my wall and came into my unit, I would sue them for property damage, and I would take that money. And the first thing I would do is get one of those super cool furnaces, so I don't have to wear these double socks.
Okay, that's different. Wait a minute. If the cops go into a condo and start blasting through walls and hit people unassociated, fine. But Breonna Taylor wasn't unassociated. She was literally dating a drug lord. Okay, if you're gonna sleep next to El Chapo, you're probably gonna get shot at some point. I mean, not now because he's in Supermax, but I mean, this is nonsense. Stop breaking the fucking law, morons. To paraphrase Jim Carrey, it's super easy. Even if it's as little as you get pulled over for speeding and that racist son of a bitch comes up with his gun drawn, just shoots you in the head for speeding. You shouldn't have been speeding. Now, we can all prosecute that cop and do whatever we need to later.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, if you weren't speeding, it wouldn't have never happened. So follow the fucking rules. Oh, well, if I just see him black in a nice car driving, they pull me over. No, man, they need probable cause. So don't give them any. Don't have taillights out. Don't have a fucked up tint. Don't have a fucked up license plate. Don't have your little air freshener hanging from your rearview mirror. That's illegal too. Unfortunately, you have to run it much more straight-laced than we do. But we as in white folks. But if you don't fuck up, you don't get fucked.
Do you think that like drugs though are like a victimless crime? Like, why do we prosecute drugs so heavily as we do?
Why?
It's a victim. If you want to do drugs in your home and sell it to people who are adults, do we really need to prosecute this still?
Okay.
Can you? I mean,
it's not just drugs, dude. Like, you can't just do drugs. You either have to.
Why not?
I'll explain to you. Because eventually you run out of money and then you got to rob people because you do drugs and don't have a job.
Not everyone. There are tons of people that just want to do drugs.
Okay,
and they're
well,
cool.
if you can afford your drug habit and it's not going to affect anyone at all, and I mean at all, like the drug dealers aren't going to have to kill people to get you your drugs thousands of miles away, fine. Then fine. If you can do drugs without harming a single person in any way in the pipeline, have at it, Chief.
Well, that's the thing about to legalize a thing. If you legalize drugs, that just stops that
You're
cartel
gonna have a
movement.
country of dumb shits. Look at Amsterdam. That
You
country's
already have a
completely
country
fucking
of dumb shits.
Well,
We
let's
already
get them
do.
high, Kyle. That's the.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we aren't fucked
Absolutely.
up enough, let's just give
Absolutely.
everybody drugs.
I would love if everyone was high. I've never heard of a pot smoker who beat his wife. I know plenty of alcoholics who do.
I know, but has a pot
dealer
smoker ever stolen money to get marijuana?
I know plenty of. I'm sure there are alcoholics who do. I'm sure there are alcoholics who drink and drive.
Let's not talk about my
people.
vice right now. I can't fix the laws. I just follow them to the best of my ability. It's not my fault pot's illegal, okay?
Is it in your state still?
Oh, no. We're like the flagship program for letting people do whatever the fuck they want. Mushrooms aren't illegal here anymore.
I'm pretty sure we have edibles and weed. I don't know if shrooms are illegal. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, no, shrooms are fine. We have safe spaces for you to go shoot up heroin and no one's going to mess with you. Everything's okay. If I was in charge of those spots, come on in, buddy. As soon as you stick that needle in your arm, I thump you in the head with a baseball bat. What are you, retarded? Quit doing drugs, hippie.
I would move them out in the middle of nowhere, just not the cities. Like if you want to go out to the desert.
We've had tent cities and stuff, even in California, and the crime around the place went through the roof. You can't do it. Fall in line, motherfuckers.
Damn. There goes my heroin dreams.
We got so sidetracked about what?
There goes my heroin dreams. This
might have been I had that buddy of mine who
joking, I don't do heroin, people. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I had that buddy of mine who passed away maybe because of a heroin overdose, but no one's ever actually said for sure because that would shed some light.
Dude, let's be honest. The black community had the crack problem. The white community, that's heroin. That's you guys, man.
It's not white people because
it really is. It was mainly the white people.
Black people were crack. Heroin is like strictly crazy, stupid white people. Like
it's mainly whites, dude. I don't know anyone else touching that shit but whites. I mean blacks have crack and whites are doing heroin.
I'm just saying good stuff like White China.
The whites are doing heroin, man. Philip Seymour Hoffman, that actor, he was doing.
Not sure we're allowed to say heroin and stuff.
Why not?
Get booted. I don't know. I don't think. I mean, we can't talk about COVID on YouTube, but we can talk about like heroin and where to buy it.
Why not? I mean, we're not to buy it, but I'm just saying
if you guys want to know where to buy it, don't ask me.
Don't ask me either. I'm not telling you that shit. But I mean, like, that is strictly, dude, the drugs. I think COVID played a role because everyone's home all the time. Everyone's bored, and boredom just leads to drugs. And it's that simple.
Alcohol.
Dude, you ever as a kid, did you ever have the DARE program? You remember that?
Yeah.
The cops would come to your school?
Somewhere.
I remember the DARE program. It failed horribly. They had to pull the plug in the funding because it wasn't working. People just did more. It didn't stop kids from doing it. It was just, that Nancy Reagan thing, say no, just say no. And the DARE program, they just pulled the plug. It does not exist anymore in schools because the cat's out the bag. Everyone's doing it. Anyone knows someone where they can find their drugs. Everybody knows someone they can find.
Okay, so do you believe that pot is a gateway drug? The answer is yes. What's the first drug you? All right, let's be clear
here. It can be, but I mean, I know plenty.
Neither you or I are lily white, correct?
No, you're not white, fully white.
No, lily white. It's a saying.
No. Yeah, I know. I thought you said something else. I thought you said Polish or something. I can't hear it.
Polish white?
I was like, I'm not Polish white.
Okay,
I'm very sorry about that.
The first drug, and we're not counting alcohol as a drug, and fuck you people, and put it in a drug. It's not, all right?
It's
Neither
a
is
substance.
tobacco.
It's a substance that yeah, that's
alters
a drug.
your mind and blah. Yeah, you got the dare thing.
That's a drug. If it alters the mind, it's a substance.
Okay, but I want to say illegal drugs, but then some people are going to be like, well, I took pills and those weren't illegal. They were because they weren't prescribed to you, but they were and I abused them. Okay, well, fuck. So let's just say, for argument point, alcohol and tobacco are not drugs. Just for the argument, if you science nerds want to fight me on this later, I'll meet you. But the first drug you ever did was what?
In my life, Flintstones vitamins at a young age, man. I had that for breakfast. Mom gave me 2 vitamins.
What's the first drug you ever did?
Honestly, high school, cigarette, and then weed.
I told you, nicotine's not a drug, dickwagon.
Cigarette and weed.
Okay, and then after you did weed, did you try other drugs?
I can swear to you, I did not. I stopped at weed. I mean, unless you count alcohol, but I stopped at weed.
You never done like blow or anything?
Never did, man. Straight shooter.
Yeah, I forgot. You can't tell me because yeah.
No, I know I'm a teacher now, and but I'm being honest with you. I smoked weed at one point. I haven't touched that stuff in a long time. But I smoked weed, and that's as far as I've gone. I never had the urge to do anything else.
You've never done mushrooms?
Shrooms, yes, but that's psychedelic. That's part
of drugs, illegal drugs. All right, so
it's a psychedelic. That's a psychedelic. That's the same as weed. Okay, it's like saying edibles. It's the same. It's a psychedelic.
No. Okay, trust me. If you do enough cocaine, you will hallucinate. Personal.
I'll take your word for it. I never did.
Okay, LSD. Let's see, peyote.
Meth.
What's the one that like makes people super strong and naked?
Steroids?
No, super strong and naked.
Steroids.
PCP. Did you hallucinate on PCP and you go nuts? So yeah, hallucinogens, still a drug. So you're telling me that the only thing that you've indulged in is marijuana and psychedelic mushrooms. Think hard.
Yeah, and
you've never smoked meth out of a light bulb. You've never done crack. You've never done heroin.
No,
none of that.
No. First of all, I'm terrified of needles. I'm dreading getting a tattoo for real.
Okay,
like,
first of all,
I can't do it.
You don't have to always shoot heroin. You can smoke it.
Still, I've never touched any of those. I never had a desire. I know people who do it, and I've even seen people do it. I've never touched it. I've never did. Hand to God, I've never done those drugs. I did, and I stopped at weed. Being honest, that's all.
Pretty sure if you put it in front of me, I tried it.
I've never done it.
Longer than others.
I've never done it. I've never. And listen, I'm not judging people who do. If that's your thing, that's my point. If you're in the privacy of your own home and you want to sniff coke, if you want to do that, that's cool.
Oh, it's not for me. Darvin, who I did a bunch with, and he was smacking stopped. All right, I was trying to think.
Way to throw your friend under the bus, man. No, Darvin, if you're
nobody knows who
this,
Darvin is.
If you're watching
but I'm thinking here, and it's like, wait a minute. I've had this conversation with somebody, and I know I've done a ton of drugs with you when you said you didn't, and you're lying to me. Well, it turns out it's not you. It's one of our other friends.
Yeah, that's not me. I never did any of that hardcore stuff, dude.
It's not hardcore. It's just fun. Don't do it, though, kids. Drugs are bad. They're wrong.
Just say no.
Yeah. Absolutely. They will ruin your life. Wait, weren't you in Mexico when we got arrested with the coke? Yeah, never mind. Stop doing drugs, kids.
No, I never touched that stuff.
Okay, so my whole gateway argument is on next week's episode, I will have some drug addict friends of mine who will prove that pot is a gateway drug. Okay, the point is that nobody, like the first time they ever do drugs or anything illicit, you don't like take a bump of blow, man. You smoke pot. Probably because it's the most readily available. It's the least harmless. But it is a gateway drug, and some people stop at the door, but most people don't. You can have, all right, dude. I'm super disappointed in you tonight.
But that's like saying, okay, that's like saying like fast food is bad for you. You start off as a kid with a mini cheeseburger, and then as an adult, you get the triple colossal heart attack
That's
burger.
what they absolutely do.
And it's like this, yeah. So I mean, I agree with you. I'm sure for some it's a gateway drug. For some like me, I honestly just stopped. I just said no, I'm not interested in this.
Can you believe there's people in this world that have never done drugs? Like no pot, no nothing. They're just
sober all the time, I guess.
Well, no, some of them drink. Like I dated one who she drank, but she had never done anything else. And you're not fun.
Everyone has a vice, dude. It's either fast food or smoking or drinking or some kind of drug or sex
but my
or
vice,
something.
It's not. I've never, I drink a lot and I enjoy it. And actually, I don't enjoy it. I do it because I have to, because I'm a functioning alcoholic. And you people piss me off so much that to keep me from, I drink. But I don't like run out of money from alcohol. I don't run out of money because I'm a responsible adult. I take a class, nerds. But I don't go kill people over like a booze deal. A part of that is because alcohol is legal, and that's why I don't do drugs anymore, because they are illegal. I don't make the rules. It doesn't matter whether I agree with them or not. They're the fucking rules. Follow them. Speaking of that, though, with alcohol, and we were talking football, and we just got distracted.
Oh, yeah.
Budweiser, and I'm going to trash them, but I love Budweiser. I drink Bud. I drink Bud heavy, and I don't change.
So you enjoy the taste of piss, is what you're trying to tell me.
Excuse me, that's Coors Light, and it's called
Rocky Mountain Beaver Piss.
No, dude, Budweiser's delicious. And if you disagree, you're wrong. And you're probably some pretentious assholes like, oh, I like IPAs. You don't like IPAs, motherfucker. You just want to be a pain in everybody's ass, and you like the smell of your own farts. And you're just like, oh, yeah, this is delicious. I mean, this is hopped with cranberries, maple syrup, cactus leaves, and goddamn algae from the Adriatic Sea. And this is the best beer I've ever had. No, it's not, dickhead. You just want to be a pretentious piece of shit, which is fine. You're the same guy that wears Toms or wears, like humanely made cotton. Fuck you. It's all humane, you dickhead. It's a plant and it grows. Shut up. I don't need that.
So I love Budweiser. I have not heard of this ad. What is this ad?
I'm telling you, I'm getting there. You interrupt me with your
I'm curious,
shit.
Man. Tell me about.
I love
drink
Budweiser.
IPA.
Okay, I'll never turn on them, and I'm not turning on now. I'm just pointing out some hypocrisy. So today, Budweiser announces on social media that, hey guys, for the first time in almost 4 decades, we're not going to spend the money and air a Super Bowl ad. Instead, we're going to contribute that money or focus that money to COVID relief.
Okay.
Now let's dissect this a little bit. Why do you have a Super Bowl ad? Because millions and millions of people watch that and you want to get your brand out. Why would you come out on social media and say, hey, we're not going to have a Super Bowl ad like everybody else. We're going to do something else. Blah, blah. It's to get recognition, man. You're not doing this out of the kindness of your heart. If you were going to do it just strictly for COVID relief, shut the fuck up and just do it. You don't have to announce. It's like the people who get on Twitter and they're like, yeah, it's too toxic. I'm leaving Twitter. Don't fucking tell us. Just leave. The day I retire, this is what I want. I leave work. Nobody knows, nobody nothing. It's just I go and I'm done and I'm retired. It's over. I don't want to party. I don't want to build up. I mean, I will do the courtesy, of my company or whoever works with me and stuff and say, hey, guys, I'm thinking about retiring. These are our clients. You should get to know them. You're going to take over. You're going to do that. I'll have the business go, but I don't want to party. I'm not going to make this giant announcement. You're all going to cry and this shit. So, yeah, fuck you, Budweiser. You don't need to make an announcement. Just put your head down and do it. No one gives a shit until you come out and say, in an act of righteousness and superiority, we're not going to spend $1 million on a Super Bowl ad. What we are going to do is spend $1 million on getting this ship promoted on Facebook and Twitter. But, some of that money will go to COVID too. But we just want you to know how self-righteously fucked we are.
Honestly, that's just smart marketing.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a marketing move. You don't fucking care about COVID. Nobody does. It's just a gimmick that liberals believe. No one actually thinks COVID is dangerous and blah, 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 blah. It's just nonsense. Hey, CNN today came out and said, 1 mask isn't enough. Wear fucking 2. Why stop at 2? Well, fuck you. I'll wear 5 masks. And then it's all going to go away.
You should. Wear 5 masks.
I can't wait.
Wear 10 masks.
I love giving Amazon $15 every month to buy another 50 masks so I can strap them in my face and throw them away and lose them and forget them and fuck me. But again,
absolutely,
it is great marketing on Budweiser's part. I think it's a little bit hypocritical and douchey of you to do that. It's like, well, I'm going to not use social media anymore by telling everyone that I'm not going to use social media anymore on social media.
When do corporations care about any cause? They never do. It could be anything. They don't care about any global war. Oh, we're going to promote this. Oh, you know what?
BLM doesn't exist. Shut up. Don't use that.
No, climate change exists. I'm sorry. But that's another video.
Wait a minute. Man-made climate change doesn't exist. You think your piddly little ass is changing the environment?
I think all the smog that we put in the air plays a role.
So, and no. Smog is just the particulate, okay? And that falls to the ground and it's all fine. You think CO2 is a leading cause?
The burning of oil refineries, the methane that blocks the atmosphere.
The methane does it.
The CO2, when you have a concentration.
CO2? Yeah, okay. So do you understand that when you exhale, it's CO2? So your mere existence is killing the planet. That doesn't seem totally right.
Every human being has what's called a carbon footprint. Corporations play a vast role. When you're pushing smoke and smog constantly all day, all night into the atmosphere around the world.
Have you been drinking the Kool-Aid?
You really don't think that plays a role?
No, absolutely not. I do not think. Here, I'll tell you what. If there is man-made climate change, explain the Ice Age.
Did you mean tens of thousands of years ago?
Yes, that's
before
what I'm saying.
Had corporations putting smog in the air.
Okay, but a drastic climate change was an ice age, and it was caused by what? Was it caused by your CO2 emissions? Was it caused by all this made-up bullshit like man, bear, pig, and stuff? Fuck no, dude. It's just a cycle that the Earth goes through.
So you think, like those 2 congressmen who came to the floor and they held a snowball and they said, snow exists, therefore there is no climate change.
No, that's not it. It's not. Quit saying there's no climate change. There's no man-made climate change.
There absolutely is.
The climate changes. Then explain to me the Ice Age. That was a very drastic change in climate. I mean, an incredibly drastic change. What caused that? Just the Earth going through cycles.
100,000 years ago.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, though, is that the Earth goes through cycles. So currently,
nature plays
the Earth is going through a warming cycle. You don't have anything to do with it. You just happen to be alive during it. You're not hurting nothing.
The 10 hottest years on human record are all in the last 10 years.
The 10 hottest years out of how many accurate records? Do
the
you
winters
trust a thermometer?
Are shorter.
Wait a minute.
2 weeks ago, it was 95 degrees in LA in January. When does that ever happen? In January, 95 degrees.
Okay, so now
come on, man. No.
So how accurate do you think the thermometers in 1901 were? Like super accurate, like within a degree or 2?
What I'm saying is just
don't avoid the questions. We're going to get there. How accurate? Do you think they were within 2 degrees?
As accurate as today? Probably not.
You think in 1901?
No, I said probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
True.
So the records they had in the 1900s we can throw out because those thermometers were inaccurate. How accurate do you think those were in the 50s? Do you think they were still accurate as they are today?
Let me ask you this. The coral reefs dying in abundance has nothing to do with it. The polar ice caps melting faster than ever before has nothing to do with it. The
I
animal migrations
it
completely
has
thrown
nothing to do
off
with
has nothing to
you.
do with it.
Nothing to do with you. The
The
world
co-
goes through changes.
and
So
we're playing a role in that.
I
A
disagree to that.
huge role in that.
I disagree.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
say, all right, so fossil fuels are made by nature. Okay. So you're saying by utilizing what nature provides, you're killing nature. Do you know how fucking stupid that sounds?
You would
Or are we
it would
just
have to
supposed to
be
leave the most beneficial natural resource we have? Do we just leave that in the ground? Like, don't touch that. No. Don't touch no fossil fuels. Nothing. No more plastic. No more. Name 6 billion things. No more. No using those. Because if you use those, nature provided those, but don't use them because they're going to kill nature. That's the stupidest goddamn thing I've
okay.
ever heard in my life.
Okay, so
Nope.
99% of scientists around the world confirm climate change is partly man-made. It would have to be a massive conspiracy. You mean every scientist around the world officially is lying? It's a
A
massive
whole bunch of
conspiracy.
scientists used to think that the sun revolved around the earth or that the earth was flat. I just want
No,
to toss that out
no,
there.
no, no. That was not science. That was the Catholic Church and the Vatican who had all the power who said that. And a scientist, Galileo, astronomer actually, who's confirmed, no, that's not true. It was
Yeah,
not
but
the
before
scientists who
him,
said that.
I'm pretty
That
sure
was the
they all agreed
church.
on that.
No, that was the Vatican Church and the Pope, who was all powerful at the time. They said that. And it
They
was an
were all
astronomer.
powerful at the time. How
Yeah.
familiar does that sound? And that can bring us into our next segue of mentioning all powerful people that their fingers just snap and shit happens. Hey, Kyle, do you want to talk about Gavin Newsom for just a minute? Like, speed of
Oh,
all
man.
powerful people with no science, and we can tie this back into
Oh, my
climate
God.
change,
All
and
right.
we
Let's
can
hold climate
literally.
change for
So
now.
go ahead. No, this will
So,
all turn around. Let's hear
Gavin
about Gavin
Newsom.
Newsom.
Okay, so
Speaking about
as of
all
right
powerful
now,
people.
there is a 1.2 million people have signed a grassroots petition to have a recall election.
How many do you need?
You need 1.5, so there's
By
300,000
when?
short. I want to say it's by March, so there's a good chance it'll happen. And then, so yeah, this is happening. He has officially come out today and said we're going to lift the lockdown orders. Now he has a plan. Oh, we're going to get out the purple tier. I'm going to open up the LA Forum. We're going to open up all these other places to get the testing done. We have plans for the school. Now he has a plan when this recall is burning under his ass. Now he wants to do some shit. Little too late, but I'll take it. Emperor Newsom. The one thing I've learned from this COVID thing, Dutch, and you can probably agree, I always thought that our government or the states would have like a pandemic playbook, or God forbid, the military was, there would be something. I had no idea the plan was essentially, let's just let the governor of each state, one man or one woman, just dictate whatever they want, and that's the plan. Whoever just happens to be in charge of each state gets to pretty much run the pandemic playbook. Just make up whatever you want and
Would you
go.
rather one person run the pandemic playbook for all 50 states?
I always assumed it would be like the Pentagon. You'd have a committee that would say, this is what the military has to do. This is what the CDC has to do. This is what the states we advise should do. I always thought there was some kind of panel.
That's
I didn't think it was
absolutely
just
what happened. Is that
not
the
really.
federal government got together and said, this is what you should do. And then you had a bunch of fucking morons subvert Trump and say, no, we have to close down the whole goddamn world. And if you hate Trump, close it down. If you love him, open it up. And I'll tell you what, you'll disagree with this, but I can promise you, there's some article in like wallet.com or something. They're a great like financial blog or whatever. They listed a whole bunch of facts about states, including Washington, D.C., with the most restrictions and the least. And if you go and look, the states with the most restrictions have Democratic governors, and the states with the least have Republican governors.
I believe it. Yeah.
It's funny that you say Newsom just lifted this stuff. Isn't California still like skyrocketing with cases and shit?
That's my point. I was making this argument from the start where I was like, okay, we have the
So this
strictest
was a
lockdown.
political thing, dude, to sink Trump, and you can't say it wasn't.
No, I'm agreeing. I'm saying
5
we
days
had the
in, and everybody's
strictest
like, "Oh yeah,
lockdown.
it's good, new normal."
We had the strictest lockdown out of any state with the worst case. And I know there's going to be a bunch of people
No,
who are
you
saying,
actually
"Oh,
didn't
Kyle."
have the strictest.
No, we had it was either us or
No,
New York.
Hawaii had the strictest.
No, my girlfriend was in Hawaii just recently,
Okay,
and
well,
she
you're
was saying
wrong.
it was completely
There's an
lifted.
actual list, and you guys are like 49th out of 51
for being the strictest.
Yes, and the most crazy.
Dude, no, everything was shut. I promise you.
Dude,
everything
Hawaii
was
was
shut.
like, if you leave, we'll shoot you in the face.
I cannot believe we're 49th. I can't believe
you were.
We were. If that's the case, I feel bad for all the other states because it was brutal out
No,
here.
dude, 49th is bad.
Oh, you're saying I was thinking backwards.
No.
Okay,
You guys were like the second
or
third worst. Hawaii was the worst. They took the cake. They were like, no one in, nobody out. If you leave, we will fucking kill you.
Dude, I don't know about now. I mean, about then, but my girlfriend was just there.
Over the whole.
She was saying it's open now
scandemic.
and it's totally cool. But okay, my point being is that everyone's going to say the same thing. Kyle, California has 40 million people. You have a huge population. No. Even if you break it down per capita, these restrictions were not helping at all.
No,
it did not help at all. This was the dumbest thing from the start. From the start, it was dumb.
It's a virus, and everybody says, well, trust the science. No, the science, it's a virus. It's going to do whatever it wants. There's nothing you can do short of locking yourself in like some kind of airtight, hyperbaric fucking chamber. It's not going to work. Again, like I've told you guys, if you wear a mask and glasses and your glasses fog up because of your mask, think about that. It's getting up there. It doesn't fucking work. But let's wear 2 masks. Fuck you, man. I'm going to start wearing like 7 or 8 masks because, when I have sex, I wear 13 condoms and I don't have any kids because the science, it also makes your dick a little bigger because, you have like stacks of condoms.
It's like one of those Russian nesting dolls. She wants to take it off, and it's just one after the other. It's
like wow, that is big. Now give me some of that. And you like pulling them off. You're like, it's actually not. I just wear 39 condoms every time. It also costs me $47 to have sex, and that's not paying the hooker. It's just condom fees.
You probably can't feel a thing. It's just like, what am I feeling here? It's like nothing. Are you feeling this? Because I'm not feeling this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, dude. You don't want to get pregnant at 900 condoms. Just pack them in there. And just your birth control, instead of taking 1 pill every day, take 3. It's got to be better. Let's just... Well, Kyle, I mean, I hate to say this, but you're just propagating this. I mean, if you're cold, 1 sock doesn't work, just put on 2.
Yeah, we're double socks.
I'm surprised you're not wearing 6 pairs of pants, and fuck me.
I wear double socks. I'm not the only person. Am I the first person you've ever heard of that wears double socks?
No. It used to be a thing for little girls when they went skiing.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure in the Midwest, people still wear double socks.
No, dude, we have this thing called wool socks.
Okay, how many people in LA do you think have wool socks?
Okay, there's a new thing.
It's never cold
Amazon.
out here.
Just order it off of Amazon. They actually make socks with batteries.
I know. I could do that. I could order wool socks for $22, or I could just wear 2 pairs.
$22?
Or whatever, dude. I'm not going out much. I could wear 2 pairs of socks.
Yeah, we know. That's why you got that hat on. And you don't want to.
Oh, you want to see it? This is. Oh yeah. Well, actually, this. Oh, this is terrible.
Since like you haven't showered in a couple of days, did Newsom turn your water off?
Oh, I showered, dude. My hair. I haven't gotten a haircut, and God knows it's like all bushwood.
So they invented these things called clippers, and you can just shave your head.
Nah, too lazy, dude. I'm gonna fuck it up. I don't want to. I'd rather not.
You're gonna fuck up shaving your own head? Put the guard on.
I don't want to shave the whole thing.
That up. Why not?
No, dude. I'm gonna look like Jesus in a year. I want to have it up to like my shoulders.
I will pay for the mullet if you grow the mullet.
I mean, it's growing out a little.
I know, man. Do it.
I'm gonna grow this sucker out.
I'll give you a.
Anyway, dude. Fuck Gavin Newsom. I hope he gets recalled. He was a failure. He did not. His plan was this.
Recalled. It's just a recall vote. Who's gonna go up against him?
I will take anyone you name.
No, you have to name someone though.
I think the one person who's pushing this recall the most is the mayor of San Diego. He's a Republican, and he's trying to take his spot. And I'll take anyone else you name because Newsom, his plan was literally this: we're going to lock everything down and shut everything down indefinitely. No plan of how we're going to, let's just shut it down until we get a vaccine. It's
no, it wasn't indefinitely. It was until Biden is inaugurated. Because again, it's very funny how Colorado's opening up, and we're 46 on that list. You guys are like 49, we're like 46. We're Colorado right next to California. I mean, it is nonsense what we have done to our state, and people are fucked. We're out of head. It's just,
dude, I'll tell you what the real problem is, and no one's talking about this, but this is what's really going to explode is justifiable or unjustifiable. Before all this, even with the good economy and stuff, there are millions of people that live check to check. Okay. And there are millions of people. Now you have people who are months behind payments. You're going to have this eviction moratorium that just gets thrown months later. And you're going to ask everyone to pay back their debts all at once. Whether you open up the state slowly or all at once, you're going to have a bunch of people who are going to go back out and realize, oh, my job no longer exists. It is literally gone. It's gone. There's no furlough. It's gone. And then you're going to have high unemployment. The unemployment EDD is backed up the ass as it is. No one's going to be able to make their payments. No one can repay these debts. There's no jobs. You, by doing this stupid lockdown where all the businesses were forced to go bankrupt, you essentially shot yourself in the foot to scratch an itch. That's what you did. And that's the bigger problem that no one's talking about. Once you open up to what? Everything is now gone because you didn't help the businesses. You didn't help shit. You didn't help the mom and pops. You didn't help the restaurants. You want to know who did stay open? Walmart stayed open. McDonald's stayed open. Your small mom and pop restaurant did not. And now there's going to be no jobs. People are going to be asked to pay back the months of debt that they can't. And you're going to have massive fucking crime. You're going to have massive bankruptcies. No one's going to have work. People are going to fight for food. The food lines are already ridiculously long. This is the problem that I was so worried was going to happen. And it's going to happen because of this stupid lockdown. You fucked up the whole state, the whole country, really. You fucked up everything. It's now gone. Your job is no longer there. It's gone. Anyway, that's my point.
And that's all because of you guys wanting to get rid of fucking Trump. Again, this is all made up to get rid of Trump because it's only the Democrats that shut down the whole fucking country. Now, you brought up people are behind on their rent, and I don't want to admit this, but I read a little manifesto of yours months ago that you were like, oh, fuck landlords, it's not a job, blah, 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 blah. Let me explain something to you, Keel.
Sorry, not a job.
And I'm going to paraphrase Michael Brown here.
They have my least respect.
If I'm an old man and I've retired and I'm getting, $800 a month from Social Security, and I got a little money saved up, so I'm going to buy myself a rental property. Okay? So I buy this rental property and I pay cash for it, and I figure I can get $1,500 a month for this thing to supplement my shit Social Security income. I'm now a landlord. What do you think Grandpa Joe's been doing this whole time his tenants haven't been paying him?
I mentioned
and he
in the
can't
post,
drop them.
I mentioned in the post that is the one exception. If you played everything by the book, you worked hard your whole life, you retired. For some, Social Security is more than enough. For others, it's not. I even mentioned in my post.
Investment was real estate. What about the mortgage companies that I got to pay a mortgage to, a loan?
Again, nobody asked you to buy multiple houses. That's not my problem.
I'm just talking about my house. The eviction and foreclosure moratorium, my house. I quit paying the bank. Fuck it. I'm not paying them. It's a pandemic. I don't have any money. What's the bank supposed to do? Just suck it up. They got a bunch of money. That's not how this works, man. I signed a contract with them. And I said, hey, I'll pay you X amount of dollars for 15 years. And at the end of those 15 years, I own my house.
Okay, the problem is when everything is shut down and you lose your job, that's no
Don't
fault of
shut
your
the.
own.
All right, this is
But
back to
okay,
like.
but it already happened. We don't have a time machine. It already happened. So you can't evict people right now because it's like,
Yes, you
okay,
can. Elections
everything's
have consequences, and this has
okay. So then if you
consequences.
want to evict everyone right now, you want to
Yep,
know what
who
problem you would
didn't
have?
pay?
Then you would have complete anarchy. You'd have riots in every
No, we'd
street
still have a
corner.
government.
No, you would have millions of people evicted, 10 million tomorrow, the next day. And what are 10 million people going to do? Just sit on their hands and pray everything gets better? They're going to
No,
riot
they're
in
gonna
the
go to
street.
the Capitol building, what those idiots try to do, and throw those motherfuckers out. You
No,
just
no,
don't
they're going to riot
understand.
in the streets.
Your
No, it is a lot
government
easier
did
to
this to
riot in the
you.
street. Some will do that. Many will just riot in the street and loot and burn.
Like idiots, because no one understands your government did this to you. Do you not understand that?
Okay, if you are evicted, no one's going to hop on a plane and go to watch. Some will. Many are just going to loot their own city. There's millions of us who are unemployed, and now we're all evicted, and now I can't feed my family. You create a land of desperate people, and desperate people are going to do desperate things. That's what I'm worried
So
about.
what's your solution? Do you want another stimulus check?
No, my solution, I was saying this from the beginning. This was a fucked idea. There's
Yeah,
nothing
no,
you can
don't
do.
ever close down an economy.
I said
This
this from the
would be,
start.
and
We're fucked. There is no, unless you can somehow have all these jobs waiting as soon as everything opens back up. All right, everyone, all the jobs are back. Just push on back on through. Even if you had that, even if all the jobs were waiting, even if that was true, we still want you to pay back the months of payments and keep up with your current ones. Could not.
all right. So what are you gonna do? You gotta have an answer for
Truthfully,
this.
truthfully, I don't know. I don't know what you do. I would have never done this to begin with. You're just fucked. There is nothing you can do at this point. The only thing you could do, quite honestly, you would have to have all the jobs back somehow, some way. And I know you're gonna hate to hear this, but you're just gonna have to start forgiving people's debts. You're just gonna have to start forgiving people's debts, and just give people a grace period and just say, hey, listen, whatever debts you collected the last 10 months, you're just gonna have to forgive them. People cannot pay that back. There's nothing else you can do. You can only squeeze people so much.
Wait a minute. They don't have to pay. They may not have to pay it back, but I gotta pay it back.
As far as I'm concerned, we already listen, every bailout is taxpayer dollars. As far as I'm concerned,
It's
I've already
my dollars.
it's our money. Yeah, I've already paid back the bank more than I should have, and I'm only 26. I've already paid my fair share. Most people have not. I should not get any, I should not have them double charge me on interest rates. I shouldn't have
Some of
shit.
us haven't gotten stimulus checks. Keel.
Well, I know listen, did you hear the story? Tom Brady got a stimulus check and it was like the most ridiculous thing. Yeah, who picks this shit? I have no idea. Is it fair? Of course not.
Some of us haven't gotten stimulus checks. Keel.
I'm aware of that, and that's fucked
Some
up
of us
too.
planned ahead for things that happened or may not happen and just may do.
Yeah, I know. And I was like that too. Listen, I'm lucky that my profession, I can still keep on working. Many people could, dude, if you work in a restaurant, if you own a restaurant and the state literally says close it down for months and we're not going to help you, no loan, no nothing, then you cannot prepare for that. You're just fucked. There was nothing you could have done.
Millions and millions of dollars saved.
Easier said than done.
Absolutely. So
just
what
say millions
my
of bucks.
solution from the beginning was,
why did I think back. Of that? Let me just say millions of bucks.
Fuck you. I'm not doing this. And all the restaurants should have done it together. But you had a bunch of little bitches who were like, oh, yeah, the government knows best. I'll just, sacrifice my livelihood and, well, I'm a dumb little bitch. And people, you're losing your freedoms. And this is just nonsense that Twitter, Facebook, all of these whack job companies are literally stripping your freedoms from you. Twitter today did like some whole like tweet bird thing where we're going to let people interject on facts. These are the freedoms that are being stripped, whether it's COVID, freedom of speech, whatever you want to call it. Twitter's being sued for child porn. They let child porn slip through a couple years ago, and the kid who was the actual victim of the porn said, hey, man, I'm 13 years old. I was blackmailed into naked pictures. You need to take them down. And Twitter was like, no, it does not violate our community guidelines. They're going to stay up. So what happened was this kid turned 17 and is now suing Twitter for this, saying, hey, look, you guys are either a platform or a publisher. I don't know the terminology, but you're either going to publish everything, and under, I think it's section 203 or whatever, you will not be responsible for the things that are published on your platform, or you're going to censor stuff, and then you're going to be responsible for what's left. Well, it turns out Twitter has decided to censor shit, and now they're responsible for child porn. You can't have it both fucking ways. You can't have your liberty stripped from you. You can't go outside. You got to wear a mask. You can't do this. You can't say this. You can't talk about this. You can't go out to eat. You can't. And people are just like, yeah, totally fine. If it saves just one life, fuck that one life. Now, I understand that we sacrifice an amount of liberty for security, but that is security from foreign evils. Why not wear 2 fucking seatbelts? Honestly, one isn't enough. Wear 2. And if you're really, really brave, and if you really want to save this country, wear 3. It's back to the 49 condom thing. 1 ain't enough, man. Wear 40. 1 seatbelt isn't enough. Christ, wear 2 goddamn helmets. So when your dumb little bitch ass falls down, you're protected.
So I'll ask you the same question. Where do we go from here? There's no jobs. When people are going to realize, people are going to realize when the world opens back up, all of them are not going to be there. You're going to be months behind rent, and they want you to pay it all back in a lump sum. Your rents, your debts, your credit card, whatever you might have. What do you do? What do we do as a country? What do we do?
For the first thing you do is you open back up completely. No new normal, no 5 masks, no social distancing, none of this. Just admit you fucked up.
So then how do people pay this?
And then all your jobs will still be there. We're still going to need restaurants and shit.
No, but many have already closed. Like permanently, they're gone, never to return.
Yeah, so that really sucks.
So I'm saying, what do we do from here?
Go burn down some senator's house. I'm serious. Don't actually burn down houses. I'm not inciting violence. But yeah, don't let this happen again. So in 2 years, you vote these fucks out. And if unfortunately you got to go be homeless or find a new job or do something else for 2 years until you get back on your feet, you need to do that. That's the way America works. The government doesn't need to be involved in things, and you need to understand that. I can't stress this enough. The government does not have your best interest at heart. They don't give a shit about you. And this is a perfect example. And if you can't see it, you're fucking stupid. And I can't help you, and you just deserve to starve, die, blah, whatever. I can't help you. Perfect example. Joe Biden was a couple days ago said, we can't control the virus, the trajectory of this virus for the next couple months. It's going to do what it's going to do. That's not what you said on the campaign trail there, Mr. Biden. You told us you had a plan. You had a better plan than Trump, and you were going to get rid of this virus. No, you weren't. But stupid people are like, oh yeah, Orange Man bad, Biden good. He fixed virus. Me dumb. Stop trusting these people. How the fuck has he been in office in some form for 50 goddamn years, and all of a sudden he's gonna fix it? How the hell is Nancy Pelosi still alive or in any type of power? What has she done for anybody? And on the same token, the Republicans, Cocaine Mitch, or whoever, any Republican who has been in office for longer than 10 years, what have you done for me? Not a goddamn thing. So stop voting with your little hearts and vote with your fucking brains. This is getting out of control.
I think that's why half the country does not vote, because people are just so, they've woken up and it goes back to what we talked about last commentary. It's like, dude, both parties suck. Even if you give them super majorities and they can pass whatever they want, it never helps everyday people. Both parties fucking suck. And there's
used
no
to
escape.
help everyday people.
A long ass time ago.
I'd say about 1900, it all went to pot when we started going a little bit of big business. And then we passed a bunch of laws that regulated, and then big business tried to fuck you in the ass, and you just let them do it. And then the government were like, well, we'll protect you from your job. And then that's when it really got bad. If you would have just stood up to big business instead of going to the government and like, save me from my job, fuck you. You guys, there's more of you than them in almost every case.
Yeah.
If you don't like the way Ford is treating you, excuse me, in 1915 or whenever, stop working, dickwagon. Don't go to the government and be like, hey, you need to regulate this shit. No, the government has no place anywhere. And it's absurd that you think it does. The government has no place in your life from day to day. It needs to protect you from China and the crazy sons of bitches who want to destroy this country. Other than that, carry on without them.
I mean, military industrial complex, Wall Street, every president, Democrat, Republican, they just bend the knee. And we've done that for about at least 50 years, at least. 100. And we just,
It's all about money.
We fucked over this is what happened. We just shot ourselves in the foot. And I think you can kick the can down the road until the can gets too big and then you run out of road. And the debt's too big. The one thing we can still do as a country that's bipartisan, the only thing we can do is just print more money. That's the one thing we can still do. And that's it. There's nothing else we can get together in a room about. There's nothing we can do.
We can't print money. The Republicans don't want to do that.
And can't do that now. I mean, it's just we can't do anything anymore.
So it's time for it to end.
And that's
I say tear it down and let's start over. I mean, we're so divided. You literally have people who have been friends for lifetime, the whole lifetime, disowning each other over a political thing because, and I will stand by this, the right side has been completely demonized, that they hate the world, and if you're on the right, you're a horrible person and you want people to die in the streets, burn them at the stake. And that is the picture that's been painted of the right. And the left is the side of unity and everything's going to be okay. And we have programmed people to say, hey, if you don't agree with me, I fucking hate you and I hope you die.
Yeah.
And that's wrong.
Can't have conversations with anyone anymore.
Nope, not anymore.
Except you and me. Except you and me. I mean,
like
we get along.
Son of a bitch. More people should watch this.
For real, man.
This is the unity that this country needs.
We can disagree on stuff. We agree and we disagree on stuff. You're still my bro. You know, I tell people, I think, dude, Jim Carrey has a great quote. Just because we disagree, but he has a great quote. He says, I'm gonna paraphrase it. Even if we disagree, I don't hate you. I still want you to eat, just not at my table. And that's that's how it should. Yeah, it's just like, dude.
I mean, you can eat at my table. You're just going to have to eat my food that I paid for and not the government. Because if I went to your table, the government would pay for your food that I have to eat, and you wouldn't have any heat. I don't want to eat at that table. I'd be cold. I like hot food.
That's true, man. I mean, I'll tell you where this all went down for me. I'm looking at it historically. Unpaid wars, going way back to
No, come on.
No, here's where it starts for me. Let me get through this. Vietnam, World War II, necessary wars or unnecessary, that racks up debt. Fine.
Wait a minute. World War II was absolutely necessary.
No, I'm saying, but Vietnam. No, but I'm saying Vietnam, you can argue was unnecessary. Some will say that. So what I'm saying is it starts with unpaid wars that you got to pay off.
It doesn't start there. But
I know, but here's where it goes for me. I honestly believe this really started with Reagan and Bill Clinton, who both of them single-handedly played a huge role in wrecking this country into the earth. And let me explain why. I know a lot of Republicans love Reagan and a lot of Democrats love Clinton, but listen, Reagan's tax cuts hurt the middle class. Bill Clinton's NAFTA outsourced the jobs. And every president we've had have replicated this model. Bush, Obama, Trump, where we're going to outsource jobs and we're going to help the rich and Wall Street. And we did that for 30, 40 years. And now the chickens have come home to roost, where we're just fucked with high debt, war debts from the Middle Eastern wars on top of that, the taxes out of control, the middle class got the short end of the stick. And I really do think it was a slow trickle, but it was Reagan and Clinton combined that just were the death nail, because they just death nailed this country. And Obama and Bush and Trump just cemented it. And I don't see us really coming back.
So I completely disagree with that. I think Reaganomics worked fantastically. It just it didn't decimate the middle class. Again, it's simple economics. If your boss makes more money, you'll make more money. Okay, they're not that greedy. It's the way the world works. What I think the problem is I think it was after Kennedy, but there was a saying, and I tried to find it, but I can't, and I will. Democracy dies, it is paraphrasing. Democracy dies when the people realize they can vote themselves a raise. And as soon as the left decided that, hey, you need to completely rely on us for everything, and they started to prove it through social programs and nonsense like that, that's when that's when this country died, because it's important again to point out we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. So if you keep using democracy on CNN like, oh, this is a win for democracy, blah, 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 blah. We're not a fucking democracy. But the democracy in this country, which we are a democratic republic, also known as a constitutional republic, you do have a say, whether you believe it or not. We are represented by people who we elect through a democratic process. It's complicated. I'll do a thing on it later to explain it to you all.
Who are all bought and paid for long in advance by donors.
And that's the problem. But when the people realize that if I vote for the left, I'll make more money on welfare doing nothing than I will working, that is the death of this country. And that is exactly how Joe Biden got elected, because he fucking lied to you guys and said, hey, if I'm in, I'll give you $2,000 a month. And you all were like, oh yeah, great. Where's my $2,000, Joe? Where is your plan for this? Where is your plan for the pandemic? You lied again. You're like every goddamn politician we've had, except Trump actually didn't lie about it, what he was going to do. He said, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And he did this, this, and this. He might have lied about other things, but
hey, you didn't get your stimulus under Trump, did you?
I don't want a stimulus. Open the goddamn country. I don't want money from you. I don't want you to give me my money back. I don't want you to take it in the first place is the number one. And number two, just giving it back makes me look like an asshole. Yeah, I stole this from you, but out of the kindness of my heart, because I am so good, I am just and I am righteous, and you're a little peon in my world, I'll give you some of your money back. Oh, thank you so much. Fuck you. No, nobody should have got a dime. We should have just never closed. And now that we are closed and the damage is done, move the fuck on.
That's where I'm stuck. I don't know how you do it.
You just do. Move on.
Without having anarchy. I just know there's going to be anarchy. I just know it.
If
I
it
think it's gonna
takes
be rise.
anarchy, just move the fuck on. Anarchy is the absence of government, and that's not a thing. Nothing exists in anarchy. Everybody has some form of government, even some tribe in goddamn, South African jungles. There's always a form of government. So yeah, if it all needs to go to shit and we just fucking kill and murder each other for a couple years and then a new Phoenix is born, fine, let's do it. Just move the fuck on. And if you wear 2 masks, I will punch you.
You want to know what I really want from a president? What I would love? I want a president's going to come in on day 1 and say, I'm in charge for 4 years. By my 4th year, I'm going to give you guys 3.5 years to prepare for this. By year 4, we are ending all of it. No more bailouts, no more welfare, nothing for the very poor, nothing for the very rich.
I want that on
you
day
guys
1.
have,
I like it.
You have 3.5 years. Every family, to the CEOs, to the corporations, to the poor, to everyone. You have 3.5 years, and then the whole only thing we will allow open to continue is Social Security, because it's so grandfathered in. You got to give those people have been paying decades. They got to have their checks.
Okay.
Fine. So we'll give Social Security, and the rest, you have 3.5 years, and that's it. And then we got to come up with a balanced budget. You can't just keep spending. You got to have a balanced budget, and that's it. And we're never bringing that shit back. No more bailouts, no more food stamps, no more bailouts, no corporate Wall Street shit, no poor people shit, nothing. You have 3.5 years. Every state in all 50 states, the governors, get your house in order. You have 3.5 years.
See, and this is where you have been steered wrong.
You would never get reelected.
Listen to me.
But I mean, yeah.
The president doesn't have that power. Okay? That is the job of the legislative branch. And that, I amend my response to the downfall of this country. This, I'm going to add to it, not amend. I'm going to add to it. This was the downfall. When the president started having legislative power with his executive orders. Fuck you, nerd. The legislature, believe it or not, legislates. And if you need that explained to you, I will do that for you. They make laws. They make the rules. Okay? So then what the executive branch's job is to do is to either agree with that rule or disagree. It's not to make a new one. He just agrees or disagrees. And if he agrees with it, everything's kosher. If he disagrees, but yet we have enough people who agree in the legislature, then he's overruled. And he goes back to doing executive things like foreign policy, trade, not legislative trade, but, foreign policy, defense, shit like that. That's his area. But now defense costs money, so he's got to go back to the legislature and he's got to get some money from the budget for his defense plan. And that's how that works.
You know what's the loophole?
No, not done.
Loophole. Okay, keep going.
And then you have the Supreme Court, which I will fight you on the death to this. They have no standing in this country at all, other than to enforce the laws that Congress makes. There is nowhere in the Constitution that it says that the Supreme Court decides the constitutionality of a law. It is up to the legislature to make constitutional laws because they're decent human beings, not pieces of shit. What the judicial branch does is enforce those laws. It does not decide whether they're laws or not. It's never been a thing. It's a self-appointed power. And I think it's the Mayberry or Mulberry one, where it's a self-appointed power. They do not decide what's constitutional and not. That's up to the legislature. They make laws that are constitutional. That's how that works. And then the Supreme Court is the final step of enforcing said law, not deciding whether the law is just or not, or constitutional or not. That's a made-up malarkey thing. And then the president, the executive branch, does foreign policy, like I said, his stuff, and then he also agrees with Congress or he doesn't. And if Congress can overpower him, said be it. That is why in the Senate, the vice president is the deciding vote. It's called checks and balances. Our government is absolutely perfect the way that it works when it was written. And then somewhere along the line, people were like, oh yeah, executive order, roll onward. You know, the executive order that during World War II, I'll think of the president. It's 966 or 996. The one for the Japanese internment camps, that's still in effect. It hasn't been like turned down, shut off, or anything. Did you know how insane that is? The president can't just write laws. That's the legislature's job. And until, God, no one understands how this country works anymore or how it was supposed to work. It's just like, oh, whatever makes me feel good is what we're going to do.
Okay, going off of that,
that's just facts. There's no going off.
No. Here's the loophole to that we started doing as this country, going back from the very beginning, is the loophole is you can pass an executive order as long as it's in defense of the country, slap the word war on it, you can do it. So war on drugs, Nixon, Reagan, Clinton, war on welfare. As long as you can pass an executive order and say, I'm going to declare war on poverty. It's an existential threat to American society, and therefore the president can then do it. And that's what we've also done with every president.
Everybody's like, yeah, no problem. Go ahead. Continue. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Stop being a little bitch and go out there and work for yourself. Do your own thing. Stop letting the government step in and be like, okay, little Johnny, you want to be a girl, we'll protect you. No, little Johnny needs to get his ass kicked and learn that, you know what, you're not a girl. God made you a dude. You got X and Y and XX chromosomes, right? There's nothing else. Stop peddling to this shit. It's simple things like that. Stop giving everybody a trophy. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Stop. And start being a productive member of society. Stop being a little bitch. Start being a working little bitch.
Dude, here's a question for the viewers and stuff, and for all the lawyers out there. I'll pay you $100 if you can find it. There is actually, most people don't know this, there is no law or amendment or anything, not one law, that says we have to pay federal income taxes. There is no law, not with the IRS, not in the legislative. There is nothing that says we have to do this. It's just something that we all do, or they threaten you with prison. There is literally not a single law on the books or an amendment or anything that says we have to pay. I will challenge anyone, $100, any lawyer, find a law that says it. There is nothing that says we have to pay federal income taxes.
All right, give me 1 second and I'll find that now. All right, Kyle, as your question 4, the ridiculous, there's no law on the books that we got to pay federal income tax. Let me point your simpleton liberal ass to the 16th Amendment, and I will read it to you. It doesn't do Face ID. Hold on a second. The Congress, our Congress, shall have the power to lay and collect taxes on incomes. That's it. Congress makes laws, so they have the power to make a law to collect taxes on your income. So right there is proof in itself that you have to pay federal income tax. You have to pay federal taxes.
Okay, there are 2 laws together that say you have to pay it. USC
you said there were no laws.
Hold up, no, let me read it. USC 6012A1A requires individuals who have income to file a tax return. All you have to do legally is file the tax return. That's all you have to do. That's number 1.
That includes paying them, dumbass. You don't just file a return.
Hey, the way it was written, it just says file. It didn't say pay. That's how this country works. If it didn't say
it also says to lay the power to collect taxes on incomes. Literally, one of the amendments of our Constitution says that Congress is supposed to collect taxes on your income. Read the second law.
USC 6151A requires everyone who is required to file a tax return to pay the tax due. But
everyone is required to pay a tax return unless you're a child.
Except as otherwise provided there's a long one. Except as otherwise provided, tax required under the title regulations. Person required, which shall return above the assessment, demand from the secretary. There's a long list of exemptions.
I can explain to you how laws work. All of the first law says, hey, everybody has to paint their toes blue. And then the second law says everybody with blue toes has got to jump off the bridge. So I'm just moving along and saying, hey, look, Congress said everybody has to jump off a bridge. If you dissect it, who cares? The first law, everybody has to file a return. The second law, everybody who files a return has to pay what that return says they owe. So yes, there are many laws that say you have to pay taxes.
Income tax is illegal, but filing is legally required, and by filing, you agree to pay your income tax.
Right, it's a roundabout way of getting
to it. Again, it's not officially on paper. It
absolutely is on paper.
And it's a loophole that they made.
But the 16th Amendment says that Congress can make laws that make you pay taxes.
That's like saying the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. It did not. Yeah, no, it was a loophole. It freed property. And
no. The Emancipation Proclamation made slavery illegal in states that were in open rebellion. If you're in open rebellion, you're not going to follow the laws of somebody else. That's
exactly.
Stupid.
Okay, so listen. Same thing here is that it's a loophole. Income tax is illegal, but filing is legally required. By filing, you agree to pay your income tax.
It's not illegal. Because again, the 16th Amendment, this isn't a law. This is an amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America, says that Congress can levy taxes on one's income. How they do it may or may not, that could be a Congress thing. But the Constitution says that it can happen, and therefore it has. Now, you could say it's illegal. That'd be like saying free speech is illegal. By the way, free speech is only against the government, dumbasses.
Okay, yeah. The IRS will not put you in prison for not paying. They're just going to put you in prison for not filing. That's how it works. That's what they did to Al Capone. Yeah, he didn't file. So you have to legally file, but by filing, you agree to pay.
Yeah,
so it's a loophole. There's no law.
Break the contract. No, it's a law.
It's a dude. It is a loophole. It says, okay, you don't have to pay
me my
$100,
bitch.
You
said you don't have to pay $100. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. You either pay me my $100 or you swear that from here on out you're not going to pay your federal income tax, and you're going to see what happens.
I'm going to file my income tax because that's all they require.
Actually, you probably don't pay them anyway. You're probably
no one's going to pay. Dude, do you
probably
remember
half the country that doesn't pay.
I'm sorry. We had a whole hour discussion about how everything's shut down and no one can do shit and pay.
I can still do things. I don't understand what this whole mystery of the stock market saving money and not being a poor piece of shit is.
You mean it's okay? Oh, Mom, Dad, do you have a spare $200,000 in the corner of the house? Why did I think of using that? Oh, that was easy. I totally forgot about that. Come on, man. Like, it's that simple. Like, people just have money saved up. When everything is expensive. Everything is expensive.
Yes, Kyle, people have money saved.
Not enough to go months, almost a year at this point. You have enough money for a whole year to not work.
Okay, we're not going to get into intricacies like that because some of this.
Okay, not you specific. I just mean in general.
Yes.
Ask people. How many people have enough money to not work
6
for
months.
1 year? It's been almost a year. It's almost March.
No, 6 months, like zero income, 6 months, and not completely fuck yourself is what most financial advisors say.
I mean money, not like, okay, I can just use credit cards. Not credit cards. I mean money.
Yeah, actually, 6 months of liquid capital is what you should have. And if you don't, again, something's wrong here.
Yeah, I agree. When it's millions of
With
people that
you,
have that problem.
no.
No, when it's
If
millions,
you work at
something's
McDonald's
wrong.
and you don't have enough money, the problem is your ass works at McDonald's. And yes,
I know plenty of people who don't work in McDonald's, who work good jobs, and they still have to work. Well, I guess it depends. What's your definition?
I mean, you do live in California, so you guys have let rent and property value, all that shit go through the roof.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What's your definition of a middle class salary? Like, I can make $50,000 here, and it's gonna feel a lot different if I'm making $50,000 in Dubuque, Iowa. The money's the money. It's where you live. So yeah, I mean, what's your definition of a middle class salary? $40,000 a year, $50,000. It depends on the person. It depends where you live. I mean,
I understand that, but where you live is in California. And the problem is they're not paying you enough to have a 6-month stockpile. So your option is leave or demand more money. It's not my problem you didn't do either of those things. It's your problem.
So here's my situation. Okay, I could sell this place in LA and someone's going to want to move here. Fine. If you live in a town where your steel mill job got closed and the town's depressed.
Why did your steel mill job get closed?
I understand. Okay, let me keep going. Hold up. Let's say you live in a really shitty part of the country and people just say, why don't you just, okay, and people say, why don't you just move? It's like, okay, you put your house on the market. Who is going to buy that? Who is going to want to move there? Who?
Were you grandfathered into that shithole?
I don't know. For some people, it's like that.
The basis of this country is pulling your own ass up from your own bootstraps. If you live in poverty, you have no one to blame but you. And that's the whole problem is everybody's like, oh, well, you know what? I can't get ahead because of the government or because of this or because of the white people or the black people or the Mexicans or the women or no, the only person you have to blame is you.
Okay,
you were a failure. You're shitty at life. You should kill yourself. It's just, I don't get this whole, like, it's someone else's problem. It's
okay,
not,
Dutch.
Motherfucker. It's
Dutch.
your problem.
Dutch, answer my question. I live in a really shitty part of Detroit, ravaged by crime.
Your fault.
Okay, and I'm going to take your advice. I want to move somewhere else. Who is going to buy my house? Who is going to want to move here? Who?
I suggest what you do.
Who's going to give me that money so I can buy a house somewhere else?
No. It's not who's going to give you the money. How are you going to go get the money? Not by selling your shitty house. Get a better job.
Oh, okay, Dutch. All the jobs are gone. What can I do now to move?
Kill yourself.
So that's my point, man. When you're stuck in poverty, it's easy to say rise up, which you can.
Get a job in the NFL. I hear they hire minorities.
It's much harder than that to just say simply sell your house and move. Who's going to want to move to that shitty place in Detroit and buy that house?
Life's not fair, man. Sometimes your whole life might suck. And I don't know what to tell you. You can do well in high school, go to college, get a degree in nuclear physics, and be a nuclear scientist and make millions of dollars. What do you want me to tell you?
Dude, the answer to our problem is very, very simple. We have way too many people living in the big cities, LA especially.
No, we
need to move you guys. People. No, okay, fine. You guys got to start living in like South Dakota,
oh, fuck that.
Wyoming.
I don't want you guys ruining my precious area.
Go to Montana.
We've been over this. I don't actually live in Denver.
Go to Montana.
I learned my.
Go to Wyoming. Go to Idaho where no one lives.
No, shut your goddamn dirty mouth.
We have way too many of you out here.
And they all come to Colorado, and that's why Commie-rado is what it is.
Did I say Colorado?
Fucks from California have ruined my state.
I didn't say go to Colorado. I said
you
go
said
to the
go
states.
to the less populated states. We used to be less
Montana,
populated.
Wyoming, the places where nobody lives. Go there. Build a city there.
That's undesirable because the government isn't gonna hold you like a little bitch. there.
Sorry, go there. There's too many of you in Cal. We have 40 million people in a land of 300 million. Way too many.
Again,
you
dude.
Go.
No, stay there. You guys built that cancer, and you need to suffer it.
No, go to Wyoming.
How many of those are fucking Pedro and his family up from TJ?
Dude, if I was a Democrat and I was a leader of the party.
You are a Democrat.
No. I mean, if I had power, you know what my plan would be? I would say, dude, we will let in as many illegals as we want, but we pick where you live. You all gotta live in Alabama. And I would just have as many as I could. You want to live in LA, in America, you gotta live in North Dakota. And you can never leave. You get Wyoming or back where you came from. That's the best we can do. We have too many people in California, too many in Texas,
no, man,
too many
bullshit.
in Florida.
You can't let them all in and send them somewhere else. Stop letting them in. Jesus Christ.
No, I'm just being honest with you. I'm saying, dude, California, Texas,
Stop
Florida, New
letting
York,
them in.
We have too many people in general. Some of y'all gotta start living somewhere else.
No,
I'm not moving to North
you
Dakota.
guys built this shithole. You gotta live in it.
California, once upon a time, was not a shithole. It just got ruined. Some of y'all gotta live in Wyoming.
It got ruined how? Do you think people came from other states to ruin your state? No. You all ruined your state from the inside out. So quit fucking up other people's state with your garbage.
Actually, LA especially is a place where very few people are born and raised there. Everyone from California is here because they moved here. Most of them are.
Goddamn handicap kid.
No, most of the people in California asked them, moved there, or their parents moved there.
From
they were not born and bred.
Nobody moved to California.
Oh, dude, for decades, people moved to LA alone.
From where?
Go ask people, hey, where were you born here?
No, Kyle, I'm asking you.
They will say, no, I was born in Connecticut.
Californian. Why the fuck would you move to California? That sounds literally like the stupidest plan ever.
You know why people move to LA? Oh, I want to be an actor. I want to be a singer.
Not
I want to be
40 million.
I want to be. No, we have 40 million people living in California.
Oh, okay. All right, so people move to your state to be an actor, a singer, or whatever, and then what?
Yeah.
They fail.
And they either stay or do something else, or then
and then your government props their stupid ass up because you thought that being a host of a semi-pornographical show on the CW was a good idea that you somehow didn't get the host position of. So instead of sending your stupid ass back to where you came from, you all thought it'd be a great idea to prop these people up. And don't worry, little buddy, I'm going to give you some money. I'm Governor Dipshit. Is that kind of how it worked?
Kind of.
Yeah, it's absolutely how it worked. So again, quit giving everyone a trophy. If you move to California from South Dakota and you want to make a show about bass fishing when there's no bass fish in North Dakota, where the fuck you came from, and you know the first goddamn thing about bass fishing.
Or rivers.
There's lots in North Dakota.
In LA, we don't have a river. We have the LA
I know,
river.
but you guys can superimpose that crap with computers and shit.
Oh, yeah.
But if I move out to California to be famous and I'm not famous, the best option is to send my ass packing instead of start packing my ass. That was a gay porn joke if you guys didn't get it, because a lot of people move out there and want to be male actors, turn out doing gay porn. Boom! Kyle, how much gay porn have you done, dude?
None whatsoever. None whatsoever.
Never kissed a dude?
Dude, I've never seen gay porn in my life.
Have you ever kissed a dude?
Maybe I have.
Okay.
You'll never know.
There's a 900% chance it's been filmed on
you never know.
An iPhone. You participated.
Are you jealous, Dutch? I know we're friends, but if you like me that much, I'm not a cheap whore. You gotta take me out for coffee first, man. I got standards here, son. Yeah,
I don't drink coffee.
I want coffee at least.
I'm running clean, buddy. I don't do coffee anymore.
Dude, we're so poor out here. Fancy is like Cheesecake Factory. You gotta take me out to Cheesecake Factory. And
people still
that's how
think Cheesecake Factory is fancy out here. Actually, yeah. No, Cheesecake Factory is fancy the world around if you're a poor, dumb redneck.
I will say that it's better than your typical middle class eatery. It's not fancy, but it's better than like Chili's or like, Olive Garden. It's, it's a little fancier than that.
Fuck me. Dude, both
yeah.
those places are disgusting.
I haven't been there in so long.
Let me tell you, I can cook better than 99% of the places you have ever been.
Probably. I don't disagree with that. I've been to like
Dude,
the fanciest I've been.
I had dumplings the other night, not actual dumplings, but shumai, like a shrimp, mushroom, and pork. Dude, delicious. I fucked up and put like a couple slices of Thai chili in each of them, and you got that ring sting going on, but still.
Dude, I went to a Wolfgang Puck restaurant once. Man, that took like 2 paychecks to save.
Which one?
I can't. This was years ago.
He has some chain ones, but I've been to some Michelin star like in Seattle, like Copine and stuff, which are actually, I mean, it's world class food.
It's expensive, but yeah, I mean, no,
yeah,
this was
like
the
$900 for a couple courses, good, but it's an experience, and it's something that not everyone can do.
It is, yeah. I mean, that took like 2-3 checks I gotta save up, son.
Well, yeah,
I
but
mean,
you're a teacher, so what was that, like a $65 meal?
Damn, dude. I mean, no, it was like a flagship in LA, like downtown. I don't know the name. It was Michelin star for sure. And it came to
doesn't have any
about
stars, does he?
Yeah,
he has 1 star, right?
I'm pretty sure he has some stars. There's an LA.
Yeah, but you get 1 star for like you, and if you get a second.
Now with everything closed, I have no fucking idea if it's open.
Now we're doing this. It's only been a year. We have 50 years of Michelin star restaurants that have stacked.
Well, when you die, don't they take away a star?
No.
That's how it works. I heard there's some kind of like tradition where if the chef dies, they take away 1 star.
I think you lose all your stars.
No, the restaurants, I think they take away 1 star.
It's the chef. Why would you see? That's that liberal shit. Again, the guy who won all the stars dies, and instead of he's got 5 stars, you don't get 5 Michelin stars. This is hyperbole. Just follow me, folks. But all right, you got 10 Michelin stars. Again, you don't get them. Just pay attention. You got 10. And when the guy who won the 10 dies, they take 1? No, you take them all. Fuck you. You don't.
Hold up. When a Michelin chef
It's a restaurant. Michelin's restaurant, not chefs.
They take the stars. I don't know if I'm going to go on Google.
This is why we need an actual producer, Keel. Because you look stupid Googling this.
Customary that when a head chef dies, they automatically lose a Michelin star, owing to the fact that they believe the food will never be as good or have the same soul as the original chef put into it.
Right.
So I guess when you die, 1 of your stars gets taken away. I didn't create the rules of culinary cuisine.
Because you have 3 stars, 2 is still better than anybody else.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, you still lose a star when you die.
But you're going to let that kitchen staff of winos and dropouts carry on your 2 extra stars?
I don't make the rules of culinary, but that's how it goes. You lose a star when you die.
Yeah, I think I could have a Michelin star restaurant. If nothing else, just like high levels of income and just make people believe it's good. And I could get angry and yell at people for not doing what I wanted.
Like Gordon Ramsay, have you seen his show where he just
no, but he's foreign, and
that's what he does. Oh, you fucking meathead! How could you? You fucking fuck up!
I know, but all right. So the British accent on females is hot. On a dude, you just sound.
It's funny. It's comical.
I know, but on a guy, like, have you ever taken a British guy seriously?
I've interacted with much. I mean,
sissy.
I picture them as English teachers. I can picture like an English professor like talking about British, like, Shakespeare.
It's like Ichabod Crane. His nose is up in the air. He's skinny. He has his hair in a ponytail, and he's a Disney cartoon. Do you really think for 1 second that? I mean, come on. There's no British guy I've ever been afraid of.
I mean, Winston Churchill was badass, and he gave some great speeches.
I can still kick his ass, though.
He was old, man. The fuck?
I know, but if you just hear them, like the way they speak, and a British accent on a female is incredibly attractive to me. It might be a fetish of mine. We can talk about that later. But let's get weird. But when a British guy, you're in a line and he's like, queue up. You're like, I'm gonna kick you in the goddamn jubblies. It doesn't exude masculine strength. I'm sorry, let's correct this for you PC fucks. Toxic masculinity.
To me, that's the French. Like
French
accents for the men.
Oh, dude, cheese eating surrender monkeys.
Terrible.
That suck of the blue crap is just like, dude, you were a pussy and I can kick your ass.
Sorry, yeah, the British I can see being more badass. I picture like this, like James Bond, like a British, like, oh, M, it's good to see you today. And
do you not remember when James Bond, was it Connery or Roger Moore? Roger Moore was super effeminate.
I am like Roger Moore.
You remember that wearing that like onesie? It was Sean Connery. He wore that like onesie. It was like a robe and short. Yeah, it was super gay.
Maybe.
I didn't mean gay. Like
Connery was a great Bond. I mean, he was manly as shit. He was manly as shit. But he wasn't British. He was Scottish, wasn't he? In real, he's a Scottish.
What's the difference?
It's different in the voice. You know, he's not British. He's not
the movies.
This is I'm 007 James Bond. No, he's just like
that's
I'm
the
007
fucking
James Bond.
That's the fruity English I'm talking about. Like Daniel Craig, that guy's like 5'2" and blonde. You're not James Bond. I know, dude. You got a nice looking body for being a dwarf.
I like Daniel Craig as Bond. I like Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan was awesome.
Pierce Brosnan was awesome. I just like him because my brother's name was Pierce.
Well, I like GoldenEye was like my favorite. That movie was the shit. I can watch that forever.
Which one was that?
That was the first Brosnan one where
Who's
like
the chick? I would know it better.
The girl who, like
the brunette Russian.
The one who kills people with her thighs.
Yeah.
Give
me some sugar, baby.
That was her.
Yeah, I love her.
GoldenEye was awesome. GoldenEye was the shit.
Halle Berry looking like a little boy, not my cup of tea. But yeah, that one, absolutely.
Halle Berry is hot, just not in that movie. But she's kind of hot.
I like the other one so the Daniel Craig one. I
know what you're talking about. The girl who played Vesper Lynn. Eva Green is her name. That's the one you like.
I don't know, dude, but she's in a series on Showtime.
Eva Green,
Dreadful.
Eva Green. That's.
I watched that crap solely for her. Like I literally muted it because it's scary and I don't like that crap. But she is, I mean, besides her being some kind of like psychotic sex doll and makeup, I turned that off because I didn't want to see her ugly. But yeah, I want to ask you about that. I wrote this down for this. Have you ever watched a show just because she was hot? And I mean, she is a general term. And you're going to get a lot of hate for this because...
maybe as a kid, I mean, I watch shows for the story. If they're hot, that's even better. I can't watch a show now just because the girl is hot. Maybe as a kid...
got like accidentally sucked in and like, oh, wait a minute, what is this? And you just keep watching this garbage because she's pretty. Like, is the toxic masculinity never taken over?
Not really. I can't think of a single show.
Horrible way to take out your chew, too, by the way.
I can't think of a show where I saw just because the chick was hot.
Really?
I can't think of any because
I
couldn't
at all.
It would have to have a good story. Honestly, I couldn't watch a TV show long enough just because the chick is hot.
You've never just muted the show just to watch her?
Nah, I mean
I am a shallow piece of shit.
That's why porn wasn't. Have you heard of this thing called porn, Dutch? You'll love it.
I actually try that. Describe it to me in full detail on the internet.
So it starts with two dudes kissing, and then it goes from there.
And then it goes from there. Watching, Kyle?
And then it goes from there. That's how you learn the best moves, dude.
But you haven't ever been like, okay, so honestly, you haven't ever been like drawn into one of the shows and then later Googled her on your favorite porn site?
I've Googled hot actresses before.
No, so this is my shame. I dated someone who was into like British TV. I dated a British girl. I left her. Fuck. I should have married her, but she was into British TV and she's got me into it. Like, not that I'm interested in it. It's more of like I watch it to fall asleep because it's boring but there's
See, my mom loves those shows, man. Those Victorian English shows.
No, it's not even that. It's just the accent is just so. And then you have like a hot brunette dressed up from the 50s. It's like, fuck. And you Google her, and she's like some straight laced who only shows cleavage. And then you're diving into those porn sites trying to find lookalikes like her, and you're down a rabbit hole.
That's
and
you.
My
I've
shame
never done
has
that.
just been shown on the internet. Oh my god.
Never have done that before,
Never?
man. I've never Googled celebrities for porn.
No, not that. No, you've never, not actual celebrities. Like,
I mean, find a lookalike.
D-list.
Look, like maybe like subconsciously, I was just like, oh, this chick kind of looks like that actress, and maybe it's kind of hot. But I've never gone out of my way to like really do it.
Have you ever? Have you ever associated your girlfriend with an actress and then Googled that for porn?
No, because then I'd rather just think of my girlfriend. I just don't want to think
You're
of
lying.
like. No, honestly, I was like, okay, she's here. I'd rather just do something with her.
You can't
Any
picture
girlfriend.
someone else.
No, I can, but I'm not gonna
Do you?
Google. I'm not gonna Google porn looking for someone that would look like one of my girlfriends. I would. That's why I have the girlfriend.
Yeah, but you Google porn to imagine while you're with your girlfriend.
Again, the porn is the fantasy. The actual girl is there for me.
Is the problem?
Sex.
Yeah, I get that.
So I don't Google it for. Do you know what? There was this great porn. I hope my students don't ever watch this.
You
dude,
better hope that your future girlfriends don't ever watch this.
What was that? It was a famous porno, dude, and you can still find it. It was. I saw it just out of curiosity. I had to look it up. It was an Asian actress from Vietnam, and she wanted to break the world record for like longest orgy or something. It was like 80 dudes and her, and they would just take turns on her, one after the other. And it was like a world record at the time. It was this big porn. Before viral and social media, this was like an underground thing. Like, you have to see this actress, this porn star. She broke the world record with like 200 dudes or something like that in a row. Just one in like group stuff. 200 just went on. They filmed it for days. She was tired. Her vagina was probably swollen as shit. I'd hate to be the guy at the end of the line. Can you imagine being that dude at the end of the line? How terrible that must feel.
He's probably a virgin. It's probably his first time.
Probably. I gotta look that up. I can't remember the name of that.
It worries me that that's the porn that comes to mind, because I think that's what pornography has done to us, is we are desensitized.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I am Googling stuff that I am completely not proud of.
Well,
I mean,
dude,
you're like green M&M, white cowboy boots, anal sex with a donkey, and jumper cables. Like, that is a calm night of pornography for me. I mean, that's like light some candles and love yourself.
Well, in the old days, dude, before internet, you had magazines. That was all, and tapes. And you had to be sneaky about it. Now with the internet, you can find anything. I'm sure.
Oh, you can find some horrible shit. The problem is, though, is you're so used to that, and then you get a girlfriend, and you're like, all right, so put on those cowboy boots, and let's start ramming goat hooves up your ass.
And that's what ruined, dude. Honestly, teenagers today, you give a teenage boy a smartphone, you're pretty much giving them free porn whenever they want. And by the time they get a relationship,
we're talking like horrible things that are criminal in most states.
Oh, I know, dude. And then, but they can't function with a real girl because
right.
Like, they can't appreciate.
There's lots of girlfriends that have been like, hey, man, where are the white cowboy boots? And like I said, jumper cables and shit. And she's like, well, I can't come without jumper cables. I mean, hook me up, give me some sugar.
I mean, everyone has their weird niche because I think porn desensitizes.
Are you saying that's weird, Kyle? Or, I mean, to me,
to each their own. If you find some girl that likes that stuff, to each their own, man. Do your thing.
I can find her. It's at www.weirdshitwithjumpercables.com. That's not an actual website. Don't follow.
I was on a date once with this girl, long before my girlfriend. So if she ever watches this, I'm sorry. But I was on this date with this girl, and we were trying to find what we have in common. And I forgot why. I think we ordered a meal, right? And she takes a bite of something spicy, starts gagging, choking. She's all embarrassed. And I'm like, was it too spicy for you? It's like, oh, I have a really bad gag reflex. I mean, even when I brush my teeth, a toothbrush, I can't even push it all the way in. And in my head, I'm thinking, we're not going to have a lot in common. Where is the check? You know, we're going to have to end this here. Because it was just like, I can tell you're not going to be as adventurous. You know, I was just like, the toothbrush makes you gag? It's that bad? I'm sorry, man. The world gets a lot worse than here. And I don't want to be the guy to break your heart that way. True story.
I think the worst one. So actually, we're talking about the worst dates that porn has affected. Actually, I have two of them. One of them, short, simple story. Fist my ass.
You? You wanted that?
No, she wanted it.
Oh, okay.
It was the first date. And I didn't do it because in the back of my, not in the back, the forefront of my mind, which I said out loud is, what the fuck is the second date going to be like? Like, if we're fisting ass on the first date, what the hell is the second date going to be like?
The second is just casual missionary. You know, you just can work your way backwards, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, let's climb Everest and then slide down it. Maybe. But I would say by far the weirdest was the pig's blood.
What the fuck?
Oh, you've heard this. This is an Xbox classic.
What? I would have remembered this. I'm kind of scared.
Oh, the chick who wanted to have sex in blood.
Is she like a Lord of the Flies fetish or something?
No, it's just, it's like, in blood. Okay, are you on your period? No. Where are we going to get the blood? I've got some. You can go to a true butcher these days and get a quart of blood for like blood sausage or something. But what she wanted to do was take that quart of warm blood. You keep it warm with a heating pad. I don't know how I know this, and then while she's either on top or not, just kind of like pour it on you, all of you. And this was the scenario proposed to me. And I'm not ashamed to say I didn't say no. Like, I totally went along with it. I now I'm ashamed, but it was just, I mean, you can imagine.
Were you turned on?
She was hot, dude.
I mean, I
am a shallow, horrible man, and there is very little I won't do for a hot girl.
The scariest I came, and I had to back out of this one. This chick was hot. This was sometime in college.
She wasn't that hot if you had to back out.
No, this was like, let me tell you the story. So we got to know each other. We were classmates, and we were talking over coffee. And I was like, so humor me. Let's break the rules. Religion, sex, politics. Let's just go all in. How do you feel? He's like, well, when it comes to sex, like, you really want to know. Dainty girl, really nice and pretty, but you'd think she's a sweetheart. And she was like, do you really want to know? And I'm just like, yeah, tell me. She's like, I like to get fucked. I mean, she was like seriously into like rough. So I'm like, okay, like what? And she says she has a rape fantasy where, no, but here's the thing. She says, I'm going to leave my door unlocked. I'm going to give you the address, show up, knock 3 times, open it. I'm in the kitchen, straddle me to the floor, and then just take me. So I'm not ashamed to say I went this far. I went to the house. I knocked 3 times, open the door, close it, run into the kitchen. She's there at this exact time. I fucking like hold her from behind. I put her on the ground, and she starts crying and sobbing.
Are you admitting to a crime?
No. And okay. I'm like, I had to stop, and I was like, "Are you sure you're doing fine? You're doing fine." But she starts crying and sobbing and saying, "Please don't." She's like, "Curl your fist, pretend you're gonna hit me." And I was like, I feel like I'm gonna get framed. Like there's a hidden camera.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I busted the fuck out of there. I couldn't do anything. I was just like, this is too much. I'm sorry. I'm a bitch. You can call me a bitch. I can't do this. It was just too much. But I guess she was
at tops having quarts of pig's blood poured all over the two of you.
If you did that, it would not be a crime. This, she could have had a secret camera and
could have
made
been
a crime.
Real blood.
Could have. I don't know, but it wasn't. It was pig's blood.
All right.
All right, ask. You know what?
You
Have a
didn't
poll.
go through with it. I went through with it. I was like, yeah, let's get
Yeah,
weird.
I wasn't good. Ask the guys which situation would they rather have, the pig's blood or a fake rape?
Yeah, but no, see, that's a thing nowadays. And you're also,
I
mean,
get if you're married, I would do it. Like if I was married and she wanted to role play, fine.
well, yeah, because you
I
know where
couldn't
she
do that.
lives and you can kill her afterwards. Actually
Yeah.
kill her.
I couldn't do it with a girl I just met. I had just met her and I just couldn't do
You've
it.
never had one that's like choke me, hit me.
Oh yeah, I've had that. To me, that's
kind of the same thing. She didn't scream rape, did she?
No, but
Then
she
you're
was
good.
like, I don't know, dude. It just felt weird. I just met her. I couldn't do it like that. No. The whole choke me thing, some chicks are really into that, the hair pulling, the ass slapping, and some hate it.
Hey, we're gonna pause 1 second.
All right. So,
all right, Kyle, so you obviously didn't go through with a rape fantasy.
I could not. I didn't even know this girl that well. Nah, sorry. Swipe left. Could not do it.
But you would rape your wife.
If she wanted to role play and was like, honey, I really want this when you come home from work Wednesday, do this thing. Oh, yeah, if we're married, sure.
Okay.
I would trust her. I would trust my wife, my future wife.
I would much rather trust some random girl I met than my actual wife.
No. I would not. Well, what's that old Bill Clinton joke where he goes, hey, Dutch, how do you get your wife to scream when you're having sex? You call her and tell her.
Like Slick Willie, I was not a fan of politically, but just generally, he's like Trump. I love him. He just doesn't give a shit.
He was funny. What was his defense?
If you were married to Hillary Clinton, would you not,
Was she hot in her younger days?
No.
Because I know Bill was a catch his whole life. Like, chicks loved him.
They still love him, and the guy's like 107 crawling out death's door.
I'm going to look up young Hillary Clinton and see if she has something going.
Hey, have you ever told, if you've ever been asked your actual, number, have you ever told the truth? Even, so if, it's like your second time, and she's like, so how many have you been with? You just lie because you don't want to say 2 or 1.
Honestly, this is going to make me sound like I'm going to sound like a dick. I'm going to sound like a dick, not in a totally chauvinistic way. I seriously lost track. I want to say it's around 7, honestly. Yeah.
You lost track at 7?
Pretty sure it's more or less probably closer to 10.
Name 150 and lost track when I was 22.
Because I had some long-term girlfriends and then times where I was single and I just ran through pussy and then it was just another long-term girlfriend. I want to say it's around 7 to 10.
You've lied about it every single time, right?
If so, what I'm saying is if so by accident. If I actually knew the number, I wouldn't be embarrassed, I'd tell you.
I don't understand how you don't know whether it was 7 or 8.
You just lose track, man. Time goes by.
I don't know how you
lose one person.
7 or 8.
You're with one person
7
for
or
so
800.
long.
Yeah, I totally get that. But you don't know whether it's been 7 or 8, maybe 9.
I honestly don't. No, not really. And again, parts of the time I was drunk, and parts of the time you just can't. You don't. I would say around 7 to 9. So if I ever did lie, it was by accident. If I knew the number, I would tell you straight up. Every time.
Well, tell me, but would you tell her?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What if your number was 587?
Dude, my girlfriend asked me. I even told her. I told her the same thing I just told you. I want to say 7 to 9, and she's like, okay.
Dude, my go-to is absolutely under 10.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess I think there was something.
It's not true, but.
Well, didn't they say the average American will have 8 sexual partners in their life before they get married or something? It's something like that. So I think
I'm going to edit this part out. But again, I could list 150, and that was prior to me being 22.
Really?
How have you not just
Really? That many?
Kyle, I have the list written down. It's like an ongoing tabulation.
You actually have it listed down. Holy shit. over 150 by the time you were 22. That's hyperbole.
No.
You're serious.
How do you not just like whip your dick out and...
Dude, you are a whore.
Yes!
You are a cheap whore to the highest bid, to the lowest bidder. My God.
Do you
dude.
not remember the drug conversation?
Yeah, I remember all this.
That's kind of how that stuff intertwines.
Okay, dude, just going, not to go off record, I'm looking up young Hillary. She has those thick horn-rimmed glasses, and she legit looks like a nerd. And there are some other pictures where it's like, yeah, not too bad, but nothing to brag home about.
Yeah, no, really, just, I don't know what he was doing. It was money.
I guess, I mean, he was a poor hick from Arkansas, and she was the rich girl from the rich family in Yale.
Yeah, dude, how many times have you tried to smash a rich chick?
Oh yeah, that's happened. I mean, you still gotta have some looks. I couldn't just smash anyone.
Oh no, it's 100% true. I don't understand how anybody is like it's about what's on the inside. No, man. You don't go up to the ugly chick being like, "Well, I hope she's a good person." You go up to the smoking hot girl and be like, "God, I hope she's not a bitch."
If I could screen share, like there are some young Hillary pics, dude. You want to? I'm embarrassed to admit this, and you're gonna hate me for this. There are some pictures of young Nancy Pelosi where she looks kind of hot. Oh. Yeah, dude. I'll be honest with you.
Kyle has just been banned from the Dutch and Denver podcast for the rest of his goddamn life.
There are some young dude. She had a rack, and she had like they were.
Is
like,
that all you care about? Is the size of her breasts?
Dude, they're
chauvinistic of you.
Type it if you look up young Nancy Pelosi.
I'm absolutely not gonna type naked pictures of Nancy Pelosi.
That's naked, disgusting. Dude. I'm talking young Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I might take a train on that for real.
All
she
right,
was kind of hot.
So give me your other like dirty little secret. Who's not the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life?
Young Nancy Pelosi. Well, who's the hottest like female politician? Not first lady.
No, it doesn't have to be politics.
Oh, just
don't degrade our politics with your sexual fantasies, you sick fuck.
There's not a single like female congressman that you think is kind of hot.
Yeah, there's some brunette. So Kyle knows this, and it's time you all know this. I like brunettes. I never dated a blonde. I'm not my cup of tea. I love brunettes. Yeah, I love brunettes. So there's one, is it, I don't want to say it because if I get it wrong and it's like some marsh donkey, I don't want to be labeled with that.
Isn't that QAnon congresswoman from Colorado, your state, who is now...
Oh, Lowen Boebert?
With the glasses and everything, and she was a waitress.
Yeah, she's cute, but she just...
High school dropout who was now part of Congress, typical, of course. Yeah,
House of Representatives, but still the same. She probably.
You know who's a little hot? I guess. I mean, the bar is low. These are Congress people. She has a bitch personality. I mean, just a stone cold bitch.
That's what I love.
But that Tulsi Gabbard girl.
Yes, that's who I was thinking of.
Was that her? Yeah, she's kind of.
I don't know how to spell Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi. I'm looking at her now.
Let me just use Siri. Hey Siri, show me a picture of Tulsi Gabbard. I'll need to unlock my iPhone. I don't even know what the fuck that thing is. Oh, here it is.
Tulsi Gabbard is smoking, dude. She has a bikini pic that's like, oh yeah, this girl is fine.
Can you send me one via the text message or?
I mean, I could, but I'm distracted already.
Oh, let's see here. Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, that's it, Google. Just search images. No, that's not her. I mean, she's cute. She's a nice brunette, but she's old.
Well, as far as congressmen, dude, the bar is low for Congress.
Okay, I can't Google like 1975 pictures of her.
I don't know anyone young today. I mean, how'd you think about Sarah Palin? Do you like her? Was she hot?
Then she spoke, and I hated her.
Yeah, but with looks department, she had a hot daughter. Total whore. But I mean, yeah.
I mean, apparently that's my bread and butter.
I mean, like, total horror, dude. But I mean,
yeah, but sometimes those are the most fun because they know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I don't want to explain Monopoly to you if it's the first time we're going to play Monopoly. That's boring for me. I know how to play it. I'm an expert Monopoly player. I want another expert Monopoly player. I just don't want to know how many times you played Monopoly. And I also will lie about how many times I played Monopoly.
Huh, yeah. Yeah. What's the most embarrassing crush I've had, like celebrity-wise? Like a chick that everyone finds ugly, but I kind of.
I mean, I've seen Katy Perry in concert more than once, and I paid an.
Dude, have you seen Katy Perry without makeup? Totally different person. I know it's true for all women, yeah. But I mean, but no, dude, she was like night and day different.
Yeah,
like it was just.
No, there's the one girl I should have married and didn't because I'm stupid. She was more beautiful without makeup than with. And I messed that up, but I've literally messed them all up, so let's not get into that. But the makeup thing's not big to me. If you put your face on my lapel and you remove it and there's makeup, I will knock you the fuck out because that lapel costs more than your goddamn Kia Rio, you bitch. Wear less makeup. I'm not actually going to hit a woman.
I'm gonna type in hot female congresswoman. Yeah, whatever.
Female congressmen with liberals these days, that could literally be anyone.
I mean, they're all.
I don't know why you have to make this political, Kyle. Do you have some kind of like sexual fantasy about politics?
It just started with this. I don't know.
No, I said anybody.
Okay, I'm trying to think of celebrities.
Like, I can't think of the show that I watch, and I'll watch it tonight, and I'll add it to the description to go to sleep. But it's some stupid fucking British show. But that brunette in there is, fuck me, I love her.
Eva Green. Yeah.
Who?
Eva Green. That's her name.
Yeah, no, that's one of them. But the current show that I'm watching, that What's-Her-Face used to like, and we separated, and I can't get over it. So I watch the shows that she used to like to be in touch with her, and I'm pathetic. But the brunette is awesome. I love her. Like, I would do anything for her. I'd kill you. Well, I'd kill you for a lot of stuff.
Probably.
Actually, for
I'm trying to think. Trying to think of a celebrity, like an actress. I mean, they're all beautiful because you have to be in Hollywood.
Yeah, but you're painted.
I mean,
I'll tell you what, let's talk about something that you can actually wrap your little head around. And we're going to switch gears just a little bit.
I got a few minutes, but go for it, man. Yeah.
And then we'll wrap it up. Kyle and I are both fans of video games. We're not like streamer nerds. I've streamed, I will stream, but it's not going to be a love thing that I'm good, or it's going to be entertainment. But Kyle and I have struggled lately with games we can play together like we used to. He hates some games. I like them. We hate them both. We have nothing to play anymore together, long story short. So what we're going to talk about for the next 5 minutes, maybe 10. If Kyle could be 1 minute late to schooling.
I know
you won't be. We'll make sure we're out of here.
Yeah.
What's coming down the game lane, the game pipeline? And if there's nothing coming, what would you like to see? So I'll even help you out here. There's nothing coming. There's nothing I'm excited about. The games I used to love, I can't play anymore. I can't. It's just like, boring. I'm
waiting for Battlefield 6, dude. I just need another good Battlefield game.
Another good shooter.
A good Battlefield game is going to be set in the modern times, like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield. Just stick to that, and I could play that for a year or two. In fact, we did, dude. We used to run tanks in that shit and fuck up small villages.
Some of the greatest videos ever are still on the YouTube channel. You guys just need to scroll down.
We were excellent. We used to run the table with Battlefield 4. I miss that shit. Battlefield I could play. Call of Duty has just fell by the wayside.
What's wrong with Call of Duty?
Call of Duty is that high school girl that was hot as fuck and got pregnant early and did crack and math and showed up to the reunion and says, "I will now suck your dick." And you're like, no. Yeah, that time has passed. Call of Duty.
What would make Call of Duty good again? I mean, what do the nerds want?
I don't know, dude. It's like, it's the same. Call
Kyle,
of
we
Duty,
talked about this. What do they want?
is it what is it? I don't even fucking
It's
know.
realism. They want Call
Oh,
of Duty
yeah.
to be realer. And Kyle, realer, not even, it's probably a word. Kyle has an idea to make Call of Duty more realistic.
Oh,
And
yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, here's the 2021 debut of how to make Call of Duty more realistic so you little basement nerds will shut the fuck up and enjoy the game. Kyle, without further ado, how do I make Call of Duty more realistic?
Okay, the game has to be so realistic. You see the pixelated sweat on your character's hands, the vibration it shakes. You play the game, you boot it up, you load it. The moment your character dies, the screen goes black. Your Xbox explodes. David Vonderhaar shows up to your house. He knocks 3 times. He shoots you in the head. You're dead, just like your character was in the game. And that's realistic. That can be the most realistic thing ever.
It also has a little bit of that rape fantasy to knock 3 times over the door.
Probably part of that too.
So not only are you going to get raped by Call of Duty, you're also going to get shot in the head.
Now, if you survive and get a high kill streak, you will have PTSD for the rest of your life. So they got to find a way to inject some of that shit into your brain. So make it that realistic.
So I don't want video games to be more realistic. I want them to be less realistic because my realistic life, aka real fucking life, is not awesome. It's like everybody else's life. It fucking sucks. You just deal with it, and that's what you do because you're an adult. I don't want to sign into my Xbox and be like, all right, sit down here at your computer and go ahead and start building stuff because you're in construction. And when you fail, you go poor and starve. I don't want that, man. I want that fantasy world. I want to go fight dragons, but I don't want it to be too hard or too long because I get tired. It's like, this is fucking dumb.
Or Battlefield. I want to blow up whole buildings and skyscrapers.
Yes.
And fall and crumble.
God damn it. Give me Battlefield 4 back. No.
That was 4. Yeah, dude, I missed that.
Oh, shit. 4 was the DLC where you were in that Japanese sushi place and then it all fell down, right?
That was the main game. And yeah, the DLC.
No, that's the DLC.
No, that was Shanghai. That was the China building.
Yeah, that was DLC.
Down. And then you had Battlefield 1, the World War I game.
That was fun for a while.
That was cool. Battlefield 5 was awful. I did like 2 hours and couldn't play it. That game goes out of its way to remind you that you are not playing a World War II game. You have women with prosthetic arms running around. It was like the dumbest shit.
Why do we have to interject women into stuff? Okay, again.
In a World War II game, it just doesn't fit
anywhere. I don't need an NFL referee. I don't fucking care. Put Fido out there for all intents and purposes. Just don't fuck the calls up. I don't understand what this whole obsession with equality is. We're not equal. I think we discussed this. We're not fucking equal. Men are stronger than women. Women are probably smarter than men. Okay? We don't lower the bar exam for men. Actually, we do that for minorities and stupid people.
You know what's funny? There was a joke about this. The first NFL, she's going to be the first NFL ref. So she throws the flag. And the male coach gets mad and says, "What the fuck, ref? What was that for?" And she says, "I don't want to talk about it." And then just walks away.
Or if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you. That might be the most female line ever.
It's okay.
If you
it's fine.
Know, I'm not going to tell you. No, dude, if she says I'm fine, you're fucked. You know what fine stands for? Yeah. Freaked out, insane, neurotic, and emotional. It's an acronym. It's not a word. And if you guys know what an acronym it is, I'll explain it to you later.
But going back to COD and
rambled
video games
for long enough.
Yeah.
Kyle, I appreciate you being here. You find me on the Twitter at Dutch the Beast. Send your hate mail. I'll send it right back. The podcast Twitter is Dutch in Denver. No I. Dutch the letter N Denver at Dutch the letter N Denver. We're on YouTube. That's probably the best place to find us. I actually think that we are not on our podcast thing because it doesn't record Blippo's side of this, but we'll be on iTunes. We will be on Spotify. We will be everywhere. donate, subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff to support this. This was a fun one. This was super
one more
long.
thing. Send your best pictures of young Hillary and AOC to Dutch.
Do not.
Young Nancy Pelosi. I want all three of them. Yeah. And AOC especially. He loves
But I do encourage you guys to interact. Young AOC is now, Kyle. There was no young AOC is going to get us in trouble.
I guess that's true. How old is she?
Oh, no, but if it's on Twitter, don't worry about it because Twitter allows child porn, but not the president of the goddamn United States. So, yeah, if you want to send us child porn on Twitter, don't, because I'm not endorsing that. I'm just bashing Twitter. Kyle, I appreciate you being here. This was a fun one. It's super long. You should listen to all of it. I'm sure there's going to be some ads, but
it was fun.
Ads.
It was fun. We got to do it again sometime, son.
I don't know. What are you doing tomorrow at like 9 a.m.? You're not going to work.
Yeah, I have work, unfortunately.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
Bye.
See ya.
Everybody.
Peace. All right.
All right, there's so much editing that has to happen. Can you please text Sully and just
Jelly? Yeah, I'll ask her.
No, it has to happen tonight. Do it now before class. You got fucking 8 minutes.
You have her number, son. You can't text her?
I don't have her number. She never gave it to me.
How the fuck were you guys talking this whole time?
Facebook. I deleted that a long time ago.
Fuck. All right, I'll talk.
So just actually, Kyle, do me a favor.
You're still recording, right?
No, I canceled.
The Zoom.